want to go, you're welcome to. Oh, and what's your last name again? Lutz, L-A-N-T-Z. Okay. All right, I got to write that down because that worked.
Jens, J-E-N-S, Lantz, L-A-N-T-Z.
Okay.
There we go.
Now let's read out. Welcome to Somerset High School as we get set for round one of the WIAA Division II Team Sectional Wrestling Tournament. On this stream, you will see Medford and St. Croix Central. You can pop over to the other stream with former, if I'm going to look at him, make sure I'm right in this, Badger wrestler, Jens Lantz, who will be calling Neillsville Greenwood Loyal and St. Croix Falls. And then we'll be teaming up on the championship match that will start 20 minutes, scheduled to start 20 minutes after the end of the first set of matches. Definitely the one over here keying up to be the better of the two. You're going to have, we're starting at 190 tonight, but you're going to have a couple guys bouncing around in between on both of these. But Medford comes in champions of their region by a significant margin. They won it by about 50 points over Neillsville Greenwood Loyal, who's on the other side. St. Croix Central finishing just behind St. Croix Falls back in the first one. Also, for all the fans watching, we will have highlights of all the championship matches from the sectional tournament in Tomahawk on Saturday. We'll be up there most of the day, and we'll be posting every sectional championship match and every match sending wrestlers to the state tournament down in Madison. So meetings breaking up here as we get set to go. Some pretty basic scoreboards here for the first one. And like I said, we will jump in with the second match on both streams. So that'll come up about 20 minutes after the end of the first matches. That'll be the winner of each mat. A lot of blue on the other side. St. Croix Falls, St. Croix Central. They got similar names, similar color schemes. A lot of blue, a lot of black over here. It's all red and pretty much all red. Greenwood, Neillsville, both red, Loyal maroon, and then obviously Medford in their reds as well. Fill you in on our schedule for the rest of the week for the Raiders. We will be back in Raider Hall on Friday. The Raider boys basketball team hosting Tomahawk, and then we are back on Tuesday to start out girls basketball playoffs. The Raider girls taking on New Richmond, just down the road from where we are right now. JV and varsity on Friday night, JV 5:45, varsity 7:15. That's also senior night for the Raider boys. And then we will be back in Raider Hall. It'll be a 7 o'clock start on Tuesday. The Raider girls hosting winless New Richmond. So a lot of basketball coming up. Playoffs are going to start hitting us hard pretty quick. Make sure to also tune in on Sunday on all of our social medias for the Medford, for our seed reveals on all 5 divisions. But looks like we are getting set for the national anthem. We're going to set things down, turn it over for that, and we'll be back with the match in just a few minutes.
WIA, the Somerset School District require good sportsmanship and education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. Special thanks goes to Westfield's Community Hospital and Tria Health for their coverage of our athletic trainers at all our home events. Kyle and Teresa, among others. Now, to honor America, would you please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem by Somerset seniors Ellie and Morgan Shelburne.
All right. Welcome back. We are ready to go. Just introducing which mats are which. We are starting at 190. We'll see who wrestles at 190 for the Raiders. Nolan Snigoski, of sophomore of St. Croix Central. He's looks like he might be the listed guy at 190. Raiders will send up. Just waiting for them trying to see. I believe that's going to be Evan Wilkins wrestling up at 190. And we'll see who they send up for St. Croix Central. They got Buckle and Nolan Sinasi, both listed at 190. As they go through some ads on the scoreboards you're seeing in the corner. Makes it a little easier. We'll have better scoreboards for the championship match. Wilkins ready to go. Now a bit of a delay here. Official having a quick conversation. Now we're ready to go. So it will be, and we get underway. Wilkins has a tendency to look like he's losing matches, but he ends up winning them. He's had a lot of times where he has looked like he might lose a match, but just holds on enough, gets a decision. Big battle here right on the edge of the mat. Wilkins getting pushed out, and they will slide out. We will reset. So resetting in the middle. And Wilkins, they're going to try and go low on Wilkins. Wilkins, good defensive move there. They'll separate back out. They're not giving us names on the scoreboards here. Haven't gotten announced. Oh, there we go. It's Nussbaum. So Noah Nussbaum wrestling up. I guess maybe they're starting at 175. They're listing 106 on the scoreboard. That is not right. This is definitely not 106. So caution to Wilkins as he slides out. 1:22 to go in the period. And Nussbaum goes low, can't get anything out of it. Still some delay here on the other mat as Wilkins now gets down low, and it's going to spin around, and they're going to slide out. Will not give the 2. Wilkins had him for a second. Nussbaum able to swing that one back around. And now a whistle, and we're going to get a caution on Nussbaum. And Wilkins, I think, got the worst of it. He's on the mat. He'll get back up. And we get ourselves going again. 1:05 to go here in the period. Break that one up. Wilkins down on a knee for a second, gets back up. Still battling. Nobody really willing to give much here. 46 seconds to go. Wilkins trying to get Nussbaum down. Now they'll separate back out. Go at it again, and now Nussbaum a chance here for the takedown. And no, they will not give it to him. Say he's out. Wilkins, second time now he has rolled out just in time. 30 seconds to go here for Wilkins and Nussbaum. And now Nussbaum almost had it. Wilkins goes down, and he is going to slide out, and they're going to give a stalling point on to Nussbaum. Nussbaum will lead 1-0. So Nussbaum leading 1-0. Still a delay here on the other mat. They haven't even gotten started yet. So clock ticking down here as Nussbaum's got Wilkins tied up well. Wilkins trying to survive the period. 3 seconds. And he will. As they finally get going on the other side. Yeah, this is 190. They got both sides starting at 190. So they will get everything set. And Wilkins and Nussbaum right down onto the mat. Wilkins trying to get some leverage on him. Nussbaum not giving him anything. Nussbaum getting up to his feet. And Wilkins pulls the pressure off. Nussbaum able to escape, and he's going to... No, does not an escape yet. Hasn't given the 2 yet for the reversal. Wilkins still holding on. Got a good grip around that leg. Now he loses one hand. Nussbaum. And Nussbaum will get the reversal. Nussbaum gets the 2. He'll have the lead 3-0. Wilkins now working from underneath. That stalling point becoming big here as Nussbaum trying to find a solution here to get out. And now another stalling call. They're going to give another stalling point. 4-0 now to Nussbaum. They are not giving you any opportunities. Wilkins up on his knees, trying to flip around. He's going to get turned back around, and he'll have to go back down. Resets. Back up on his knees again. Battling here, looking to flip him over. Can't. And Wilkins will go back down to the mat. Get himself in a safe position. Nussbaum trying to slide out, and that's going to be the end of the first period on the other mat, 0-0. And now doesn't have him over. Wilkins turned, and they're going to whistle and off the mat. 22 seconds. Either off the mat or it was a tie-up. Wilkins to his feet, trying to break free. Nussbaum breaks him back down. Now Nussbaum's got him on his backside. Wilkins needs to hold on. He's able to turn back. Get back flat on the mat. 7 seconds to go. Final seconds ticking down here. Wilkins. And that'll be the end of the second period. Wilkins will choose down. Try and get a quick start here, get an escape and set something up. He's going to need to do some work here. Wilkins quickly broken back down. On an elbow, now that's going to even be broken down. Wilkins, one of the spots where you kind of want to get a decision, if nothing else. Fighting on this one, trying to get this one turned around. Wilkins up on his knees, 134 to try and either get some points or get something, but doesn't look like Wilkins is going to get much here. Nussbaum just the stronger wrestler right now. Nussbaum, Wilkins able to get up on his feet for a second, now broken back down. 117. Wilkins trying not to give up any more points here. Wilkins gets his arms free for a second. Now he's going to get wrapped. Now Nussbaum's going to get wrapped back around his head. Wilkins up onto his knees. Now up onto his feet, but Nussbaum holding him down 50 seconds. Wilkins sits up. Now he's going to try and spin back around, and he'll be out of the mat, and we'll reset. So 44 seconds here for Wilkins. Try and make something happen. Wilkins got up on his feet for a second, broken right back down. Nussbaum trying to get that pin, get that early 6 points. Wilkins. Still fighting here. 21 seconds. Nussbaum trying to get a hand free. And they're going to give 2 points. Now a discussion here. Clock kept running. See if they can. So we're going to have a discussion that's going to give a chance here. And both wrestlers have to stay in the mat. Extra officials making sure of that. So they're going to reset to 15. It's going to be 6-0 to Noah Nussbaum. So now neutral. 14 seconds. That's going to slide out. Wilkins gets a grip, 9 seconds. He'll be slid out. Wilkins has a grip around his head. Final seconds, ticking down. And that will be the decision. 6-1 will be the final. So Central will strike first. As, make sure I know exactly how many points we're going to get on that. So Central will strike first at 190. That will take us to 215. That'll be Weissmiller and it looks like Aiden Ballard maybe. So just the 3 points. So Wilkins able to survive with just a decision. And as I said, we move to 215. We'll see who each side sends up here. The nice thing going at starting at 190, the Raiders are going to get, at least for the Raiders, they're going to get a big run here at the end. So Weissmiller, see him come up at 215. Not sure who's on the other side yet. They will put it on the scoreboard here. It is going to be Hayden Buckle wrestling up at 215. Listed at 190. Braxton, the quick grab, but they're going to have to release back out. Weissmiller. And now Buckle goes deep. Weissmiller gets taken down. Buckle. Oh, I almost had Weissmiller for a second there. Weissmiller gave him an opportunity, couldn't take it. Weissmiller back up. Now they're going to set that one back around. Weissmiller, a chance to turn this one around, gets him on his back. Weissmiller gets the reversal, and they can't quite get anything out of it, but gets the reversal and evens this one up at 2. Buckle will get up, and it's 3-2 to him. 1:09 to go here in a very active first period here at 2:15. Weissmiller, Buckle feeling each other out. Nobody really taking, can't really call anybody for stalling at this point because neither of them are taking any action. A little bit of hand fighting. Now Weissmiller will get a grip around the back of the head. Fighting that one off, that will come back out. Weissmiller. Looking again, they will tie up again. Neither of them really able to get an advantage. Now Weissmiller, grip around the head. Gets him down. Trying to flip this one back up. Buckle get back up and they'll slide back out. Bring it back to the middle. 27 seconds remaining in the period. And more battling here. As they tie up again. 8 seconds. Match might come down to an escape in these final 2 periods, as neither wrestler really looks to be all that interested in giving anything. So we'll head to the first. It will be Buckle's choice, and he will go down. So Weissmiller will ride here early. Weissmiller. There, Buckle trying to get out of it. Weissmiller's got a grip on his leg. Weissmiller will give the escape. 4-2. Weissmiller and Buckle back inside. Buckles shakes Weissmiller off. Now they tie back up again. Weissmiller had a chance on that reversal. Had him on his back for a second. Buckle able to get around on it as they continue to hand fight here. So keep an eye on, make sure all the streams are healthy. That one, Buckle gets down. Weissmiller had a grip on him, couldn't do anything with it. 16 to go here. As through a couple forfeits, so there's going to be some delay on the other mat. As again, just kind of feeling each other out. Minute left here in the period. Somebody's going to have to make a move for a takedown at some point. Guys, they might. Oh, Weissmiller had a grip for a second. Now they separate back out. Neither side really wants to take a chance here. So they wipe back around. 31 seconds. Now they tie back up again. Get that one around. Oh, they're going to tie up. Now separate back out again. Neither side on this match, Buckle or Weissmiller, wanting to take any chances. So neither of them really giving any opportunities either. Final seconds of the second period ticking down. And that'll be the second. So it will be Weissmiller's choice. Weissmiller's going to choose down. And Buckle's going to let him up. He's going to give the point to let him up. So 4-3. So now a takedown on either side and able to hold it would give the win. Somebody's going to have to take a chance here. Now your next question is, if somebody If Buckle tries to stall this one out, yeah, they do give the stall warning. And now Weissmiller on top, spinning around, trying to get him, and they will slide out. 1:37 to go. Weissmiller almost had him. Now Weissmiller gets the grip again. Weissmiller looking for that opportunity. Buckle not giving him much. Weissmiller, they separate out, they'll reset. 124. Weissmiller spinning this one back around, trying to find something, anything. Buckle not giving him much. Weissmiller tries to get a grip in. Buckle backing out of it almost immediately. 106. Weissmiller, now it's a caution to Weissmiller for stalling. The Weissmiller had a grip on Buckle. Buckle's going to back out. Weissmiller can't get anything again. Buckle, they tie up again. Weissmiller pushes him away. Didn't like what he had. 43 seconds. Weissmiller's got to take a run at it. Doesn't have him yet. Weissmiller a chance if he can get him over. Grip on both legs and they'll separate back out. 33 seconds. Weissmiller trying to find an opportunity. And now Weissmiller goes down. Not sure what happened there. They're going to give 2 on the reversal, 2 on the takedown, and then 2 on the shoulder. It's 8-3. Weissmiller needs to find something. Like that, Weissmiller looked like he might have just lost his footing. And that's going to be the period, and they will get the win. 6-0 now to St. Croix Central. Weissmiller almost looked like he lost his footing there right at the end. So far a couple decisions going to St. Croix Central. Now will come in at 285. That will be Max Dietzman for the Raiders. As St. Croix Falls getting a bit of a roll going here. They will be up 18-6 after the match at 106. Waiting here to see, it's Dietzman and it's Landon Langer wrestling here at 285. Dietzman coming in 245, Langer 262. So Dietzman gives up some weight. He had some rough matches at the regional, ended up finishing 5th. But I think he would tell you that that's not where he should have finished. They battle along the side here, fighting this one forward, trying to find some type of opportunity here. And Dietzman goes low. They're going to give the 2 for the takedown. So Dietzman gets the 2 on the takedown. So Dietzman now with an advantage. See if he can do anything with it. Dietzman trying to get a grip here. Gets up high. Gets her grip around the arm. Now a little bit of hand fighting as Dietzman tries to find something. Dietzman trying to find that leverage. 56 seconds to go here in the period. Pin here would be huge for the Raiders to even this one up, going to back up to the top in the little weights. 42 seconds to go. Dietzman not able to find much of an advantage here. So now a caution on Central. That's going to go against Langer. So Langer will get the caution. Dietzman ripping that arm free. Dietzman trying again, just trying to find leverage. 17 seconds. Langer, now he'll go back down. Was up on his knees for a second, couldn't hold it. Dietzman getting a little bit of leverage there, and Langer spins out of it. Final seconds of the first period. And that will tick down. And that will be the end of the first. Dietzman defers. And Langer will choose neutral. Trying to get that takedown himself. As they will get back started. Fighting this one out. Backing out, now they'll reset. Careful now if you're Dietzman. This ref has been very liberal with the stalling points. As Langer gets a good grip around Dietzman's head, trying to pull him down with it. Dietzman able to get out of it. Minute 31 to go here in the period. Dietzman ties back up on the arms. No, went low but couldn't get the leverage. Dietzman up high again. Tries to get the grip around the head. Langer trying to find something. They break free again. 1:16 to go. Fighting this one out. Still, very similar to the Weissmiller Buckle match. Neither wrestler really willing to take too many risks here. Langer is looking for an opportunity. Langer's trying to find an opportunity but doesn't want to give up as Langer slides out. Coach Listener looking for a caution. As they get tied back up. Dietzman and Langer. 43 to go in the period. Dietzman gets it tied up. Fighting through this one. Can't find an opportunity, they break free. Again, breaking free. Dietzman goes right back in, tried to catch him off guard. Langer backing out of the mat. Now he'll come back forward. Dietzman gets a grip down low. No, they won't give the two. Saw that in the match at 190. 16 seconds. Dietzman's had the better of this one. Dietzman could get another takedown here. Looking. Dietzman, 6. And he won't get it. That will take us to the third. Dietzman leads 2-0. Dietzman's going to take down. And Langer's going to let him up. So Langer will give the point to let Dietzman up. So now Dietzman, as long as he can take a takedown and get something out of it, or even if he can get him down, it pretty much clinch this match, barring a pin. And they will battle this one out again. Trying to find an avenue. Ref says something to both wrestlers. Dietzman, they back out. Dietzman gets a grip around the head, can't quite get the leverage to get him down. Dietzman trying to get that arm inside. 125. Dietzman goes in low again as he runs away. Dietzman and Langer tie up again. Langer backs out. Trying to back away from it. Dietzman trying to hold him in the circle. 105. They'll reset back in the middle. Dietzman gets a grip around the head. Dietzman. Caution and a point to Dietzman for the stalling. 4-0 now Dietzman. Now Dietzman gets a grip around the leg. Trying to turn this around. Dietzman will get the 2. 6-0 now. 37 seconds left and Dietzman can go to work. Try and get the 6 yet. He's got 31 seconds to do it. Might get another stalling point here. 23 seconds. Dietzman trying to get him over. Another caution. And they're going to give another point. 7-0. 12 seconds. Dietzman's going to come out of this with the win. Still see if he can get him over quick. Probably won't. But a big win here for Max Dietzman. And that'll be the first win for Medford. They'll get the 3 points. And the St. Croix Central crowd excited to lose only the 3 points there. So, the Central fans excited to only lose 3 there, and now that brings us all the way back around to the top. This will be Caden Olson I believe it's Caden Olson. It's hard to tell. A little further away than we normally are. We wait for the official list on the score sheet. It will be Olson and be Trenton Holzer wrestling at 106. As Trenner gets a grip around Olson's leg, trying to break free of it. Hopping around. Trenner will chase him out. Trenner gets in down low. Gets a grip around that leg again. Olson trying to turn it back around the other way. They lose the grip on the leg, and Olson will slide out. .136. Trenner getting this one in. Spinning this one around, and Trenner will get the 2. Olson trying to get out of it. Gets Olson on his back. Olson able to spin that one back around. Save some back points, but now Olson trying to hold this one. Holding 2. Count is on. Holding 3 here now. Olson still holding the 3. Hasn't given it yet in case he gets the pin, but Olson now up. Ref still holding that 3. Now he'll give it. He'll give the 3 for the back points. 5-0 to Holzer. Now, chance here coming back the other way. No. Oh, Olson had a chance there for a second, couldn't use it. Release, and Olson will get his first point of the match. Holzer getting in. They'll tie up. A little bit of hand fighting, and 2 more on the takedown. Holzer in a good spot here, but Olson able to spin this one back around. Holzer's got a good grip on his legs, gets Olson on his back. Count is on. Olson trying to get out of this. Looking, still looking. Still looking. And that'll be the end of the period. They'll give 3 more for the back points. That'll be 10-1. Olson, as Trenton Holzer will choose up. Olson will be on the bottom here. (10-1). And now a caution. As Holzer quickly, if Olson can get out of this without a pin, that would be a victory for the Raiders. Is this one big battle here? Holding on. Now try to spin him back around. He's got Olson on who had him for a second, but Olson will spin out of it. Gets him over again. Count on again. This time this might be it for Olson. Holzer's got a good grip around that arm, just trying to get him down. Flips back over. And now a chance here. They'll give points. And now Olson trying to get back over the top. And they'll get back up. Still holding it. He'll put him down. And nope, no turn. 13-1. Minute 4 still to go here in the period. Bulls are just dragging him around. Send back into the mat. Holzer will switch to the other side. Still has a grip on that arm, trying to turn him over. 46 seconds. As Olsen up onto his elbows for a second. Broken back down. Now, Holzer gets it back over. He's got a good grip on it. But Olsen holding that shoulder blade up. Trying to spin out of trouble here. But it looks like it's just a matter of time. Olsen trying to hold on. He's got to hold on for another 20. Holzer's got a good grip on him. Still doesn't have the pin. 12 seconds. Olsen keeping that shoulder blade up. Olsen stays out of a pin here, and there it is. You knew it was coming. Once Holzer got that grip around the top and was laying over the shoulders. But so Olsen gets the pin. That'll make it 12-3 as we move up to 113. Other match already at 132, 34-6. St. Croix Falls leading. So your next advantage is St. Croix Falls will have extra rest time, assuming this one they keep booking at the rate they're going. So we'll see who. Garrett DeLong is listed at 113. Yeah, it will be DeLong, and it will be. I don't know. They don't have a name up from the other side, and they're not announcing anything here. So, guessing that's either Tisnick or Malco. So, battling here. Early going. Backs back out, now gets a grip deep by the leg. Trying to stay out of it as he drags him back into the mat, and DeLong will get the 2. Fighting this one out. Trying to hold on here again, just looking for that decision. You know, Medford's going to get that run when they get in. Jude Stark at 132, Higgins at 138, Lister at 144, Lindahl at 150, Leshevitz at 157, Cowell at 165, or 175. Rothmeyer in there as well. So there's some opportunities for the Raiders to get points if they don't get themselves too far behind here. 37 seconds left. And if you're St. Croix Central, you want the pins here. At where you have the advantage, you want those pins. You saw the excitement when they were able to survive that 285. As they'll say slid out. 22 seconds to go here in the period. Flip that one over. Medford just trying to stay out of trouble here for the final 14 seconds. Now he's got a chance, turns him over on his back. This is going to be it. Another pin for Central here. Maybe holding on. Might be able to hold on and get out of this one. He will. He'll get back points. He'll get the 3, so it'll be 5-0, but survive the pin. I believe that's going to be Aiden Tisnick wrestling here at 113 for Medford. That's who we're going to go with right now. So DeLong breaks Tisnick down pretty quickly. Again, Tisnick just got to hold on. Don't get stalling points. Trying to get out of trouble here. Ref saying, hey, keep the caution on. 133 to go. Fighting forward. Other mat now 34-6 as they're at 132. The St. Croix Falls Saints leading. Neilsville Greenwood Loyal. Still battling here. As I believe that's Tisnick trying to hold on here. Tisnick wrapped up, but he's wrestling defensively here. 1 at 4 to go. And now DeLong's going to have to try something else. That didn't work. And caution for Tisnick as he's going to get pushed to his side. 46 seconds. Again, Tisnick just trying to get out of this with only a decision. As DeLong tries to get a grip around the arm. Tisnick fighting through this one. Still 24 seconds to go. Plenty of time here with him underneath. Another caution, and they're going to give the point. Stalling point, and now gets him on his back for a second and slides out. They'll give 2 for the shoulder. 8-0. 13 seconds to go in the period. And they break Tisnick down quickly. Final seconds ticking off the period. Holding this one. And that'll be the end of the second. And DeLong's going to choose up. So he doesn't want to have to worry about the takedown. He wants to have that leverage already. And breaks him down quickly. Fighting through this. Minute 41. That's what he got to hold on for here. Trying to get something out of this as Tisnick rode up for a second, and now, trouble here. Gets him on his back. That might be it. Holding on. He's got a good angle on him. But I believe as Tisnick has a grip around the back, and that's the pin. Exactly what you couldn't have happen there. So that is going to be a tough loss there. 18-3. And that'll take us to 120. That should be Lavin, who's wrestled really well at 120 the last few days. Last few tournaments has really come on. And 120, couple options here. Will Schmidt, Cameron Wiley for, I believe it'll be Wiley. Make sure to stick around. We will have the championship match after this one. So you can check that one out. So it is, nope, I am wrong. It's going to be Broden Schilling wrestling at 120. He will wrestle Will Schmidt. So they go with Broden Schilling at 120. They might wrestle, Medford might wrestle Lavin at 126. Or it looks like they might even be sending out Avery Lasevitz. Freshman girl wrestlers. That one, quick takedown. Gets him on it. Oh, Schilling able to avoid that one. He had trouble there. And now Schilling up. They'll give the release. So 2-1. I don't think Schmidt liked the angle he had Schilling at. I think he wanted the quick takedown. Schilling and Schmidt. It's going to be interesting as Schilling is going to get another 2 for the takedown. Maybe has a little bit better angle. He's working a little bit harder here. Schilling holding on the bottom right now. 1:18 to go in the period. trying to fight through this one. Trying not to get it turned over on him. Schilling in trouble now. He's on his side. Gets him over. This might be serious trouble here. Schilling able to stay out of it for now, but he's in a bad spot. Schilling on his side, though, and is able to get back around. Ref holding 3. He'll give 3. And now they'll let Schilling go, and they slide out. 7-2. Going down low. Battling here. Gets him on his backside, and Schilling able to spin out of it for the moment. 31 seconds left, 9-2. Think here if you're Schmidt, you just hold this and try and get him over. You've got a big enough lead. You're gonna get points if you don't give the pin. And Schilling hasn't really shown an ability to do much with it. As now, maybe a chance here. Nope, Schilling can't get out of it. 12 seconds to go in the period. Trying to get that other shoulder over. Schilling doing a great job holding on in this. Now he was in trouble for a second. Able to get back up and now whistle. And that's the end of the period. 3 more. It's be 12-2. And Green is going to take up. So Schmidt will take up here. Get forward. And again, battling, and Schilling just in trouble from underneath. If you're Schilling, you need to find some type of opening to turn this back around. You're not going to get a you're not going to get a decision out of this. And now real trouble here for Schilling. Schilling in serious trouble, but he'll spin out of it. They'll give 3 for the near fall again. That's going to make it 15-2. Ronan, there's the pin. And an extra little shove at the end, and that's going to get the ire of the official. But Schmidt gets the win. 24-3. And now if you are Medford, you need points, and you need points fast. This one's starting to slip away. 43-6 on the other side. They are at 138. Saints all but set to advance. So we will see here. This looks like... Is that Avery? Or is that Lavin? It will be Jordan Lavin wrestling at 126 against Cameron Wiley. So both wrestlers wrestling up. Lavin, the quick takedown. Got him on his back. This might go. Send him around. Lavin trying to get him over. Lavin. Wiley trying to spin out of it. Lavin has him on his back. This might be a quick pin. There it is. Raiders get the pin. Big points there for Medford. 24-9. 139 left to go in the first, and that will take us to 132. I can tell you right now, that'll be Jude Stark. Looks like it'll be Teague Holzer. St. Croix Falls has to pick first. Can't quite read the names on the back there. But now we get into the heart of Medford's lineup. I think if you're Medford, with the way things have gone so far, you're cautiously optimistic with the run you have now. Yep, it's going to be Teague Holzer wrestling for St. Croix Central here at 132. Stark and Holzer going at it. Early feels we start getting back up. Stark in early trouble here. able to get back up out of it. Stark pushing back. They'll break free. Stark and Holzer. Holzer trying to duck underneath on him. Still battling here. They'll separate back out, reset. 1:30 to go in the period. Stark spins out us a little bit of trouble there. Holzer. Get this one back around. Good grip there from both guys. Now they'll separate back out. Neither side, again, able to get any type of advantage. 1:13. Tie up. Stark's got a grip on the arm. Now Holzer turns that into a grip on Stark's arm. Flip this one back around. He's got a grip on Stark's leg. Stark in trouble. Trying to find a way of getting him over. Stark some good bounce here. And they'll give the 2 for the takedown. And that'll slide out. So Stark will be down. Stark broken back down. He's up on his feet there for a second. Holzer. Good grip around that one leg. Stark trying to get up. Wrap around the arms. Flips around. They'll spin all the way over. Stark still up on his knees. Doing some good work here trying to escape. Holzer trying to get a grip around the head. Trying to get him over. Stark trying to squirt out of that one. Holzer doesn't let him. Now Holzer gets a good grip around the side. Stark gets back up on his knees. 9 seconds. Trying to escape trouble. Final seconds tick down. That'll be the end of the first. St. Croix falls, and Holzer will choose down. So Holzer will go down here early, here in the second. Stark will get choice in the third. Stark, Holzer able to get up quickly. Stark gets a grip around the leg. Now Holzer can't quite turn it over yet. 148. Stark's got a grip on that leg. Stark trying to turn him back, trying to turn it back over. Still not giving the 2. Hasn't flipped it yet. 136. Stark up in the air. Gonna flip that one back around. Still not giving it. Stark still has a grip on that leg. And nope, slides out. Gonna give the escape, so Holzer will be up 3-0 now. Stark. That one's gonna slide out. So Stark will go back to center. Along with Holzer, we'll get started again. Holzer's had the advantage so far, but Stark can turn things quickly. 2 very good wrestlers. That one's going to be down on the bottom. Stark's got a good grip around his head. Trying to turn this into something. Holzer able to get back up onto his feet. And they will break free. Now Holzer's going to go down. Tried to go low, now has a grip, spins out. They're going to reset. Further into the mat, Stark trying to get a grip here. Holzer has a grip on his thigh. 37 seconds to go in the period. Stark gets himself in a bit of trouble. Go down low, grip around the leg. Picks him up. Trying to turn it over. Gets Stark on his back. 2 for the takedown. Stark able to spin out of it quickly. 5-0 now Holzer. And Stark trying to defend here for the final 13 seconds. Jude Stark. Seconds ticking off here. And that'll be the second period. 5-0 Holzer heading to the third. Stark's going to take down. Try and get that escape point. And Holzer's going to let him back up. Holzer wanting that ability to kind of maybe set the tone a little bit on the takedown. Stark. But that, it's one of those decisions. Tries to go low on Stark. Stark trying to spin out of trouble. Holzer, the grip arms. Lock arms a little bit. This one, he's got a grip around his leg. And doesn't quite have the 2. Now he does. Gets the takedown, 7-1. Holzer, and now we're going to get locked, and we'll reset, 1:33 to go. And he'll let him up again, 7-2. Trying to go for the major decision instead of the pin. I mean, he'll take the pin if he can get it. But I think we're going to see the takedown let-up game now as he gets a wraparound Stark. Stark trying to turn out of this, and he'll give him the takedown. And he's saying, let him up. Stark up, he'll take the 3. Get to 3, 9-3. Still battling. Spins that one around. Still fighting here. 1 minute, 59 seconds. Stark could still, Stark can get the takedown, he's very good working from the top, but Holzer not giving him any opportunities, and now a caution as that slides out. Here. Down low. Grip on Stark. Chance here, gives the 2. 11-3. And now he's going to go to work. 32 seconds to go. He's got the major. Now can he try and get the 6? The full 6 points here. Stark over. Stark turns back around. No points. 20 seconds. Stark trying to hold on. Stark up on his feet. Stark trying to turn this. And now a chance here. Stark pushing back the other way. 6 seconds. Stark, nope, they're going to turn that one back around. It's going to be even, and that's going to be the period. St. Croix Central gets another big win. They will take a 19-point lead. Heading to 132. Or excuse me. It was 132. 136. 138. That'll be Higgins. Owen Higgins wrestling. They've got Nopsey and McKenna. It'll be Nopsey. So Everett Nosby. Everett Nosby and Owen Higgins wrestling here. See if Medford can get back on the positive side here. A lot of battling early here, a little bit quicker match. Flipping this one back around. They're going to push it over here near side. Nopsey, a good grip on Higgins. They'll break free. Try again. Battling again. Higgins, good grip down low. Steers him back in. And Higgins will not get the 2 yet. Now he'll get the 2. Higgins gets the 2 and breaks him down. Higgins trying to turn this one, trying to get him turned. Got a good grip on him here. Nopsey just trying to defend. Nopsey up onto his knees. Higgins breaks him back down. Nopsey trying to, looks like he's trying to crawl his way out of the mat here, or out of trouble. Approaching minute remaining here in the period. For it here as Nopsey will slide a little further out. And now they will slide out. 47 seconds. Higgins is about as flexible as you're going to get in as a wrestler. He is really good bouncing around here. 58-6 now on the other side. So Saints, 65. Saints have advanced. So whoever wins this duel will face the Saints coming up here, as Neillsville Greenwood Loyal no chance to come back on the other side. So this one battling out. Higgins getting Coach Marks screaming instructions out right now, as Nopsey might have given him an advantage, trying to turn this one over. Still battling. And now whistle, and that'll be the end of the first period. First period in the books, and choice goes to St. Croix Central, and Nopsey will choose up. As that one will come down, Higgins, they tie up. Neither of them really able to find an advantage, break free. Now got a good grip around his head. Higgins, a grip around his leg, and he'll get the 2. Higgins gets another 2, 4-0. They battle here a little bit more. Pushing this one forward. Not much there. Now gets up onto his knees. Battling here. Again, Nopsey not giving much. Higgins trying to hold on here. He is still pushing this one around a bit more. Higgins onto the side trying, and he'll break him back down. Nopsey had an opening there for a second, 55 seconds. Wonder how much longer, and now the ref comes down. I think he's giving Nopsey some instructions that he's got to start, wrestling a little more. Probably see the caution come here pretty quickly, as Higgins trying to find an avenue. Just nothing there right now, as Higgins breaks Nopsey down again. 30 seconds to go here in the second period. Start looking to get points here if you are Medford. Higgins, good grip, but just can't get leverage. Higgins gets back to center, 12 seconds to go in the period. Now look to work from the side. Not much there, but that will be the end of the second. Higgins is going to choose down. He's going to look to get that extra point or 2. So Nopsey will work from the top. Climbing out of trouble. Still fighting a bit, trying to break him down. Higgins up, now he gets broken back down. Higgins back up on his hands and knees. Nopsey not able to get much of a grit. Higgins up on a leg, now gets tipped back over. Problem here, Higgins in a little bit of trouble. Higgins breaks himself back down, gets into a good defensive spot. 131, and now we get a caution. Not a caution, but a safety stoppage. 1:30 to go here in the third. Higgins up, almost broke free. Nopsey able to get a grip around the leg. Higgins trying to turn this back around, and we get another safety stoppage. $1:20 to go here in the third. Higgins trying to break, gets broken back down to his knees. 1:13, Higgins trying to get out of trouble here. Higgins breaks back down. Nopsey trying to get leverage. Higgins onto the side hip a little bit here, now gets back up centered. 57 seconds. Higgins Trying to flip this maybe out of trouble here a little bit. Higgins trying to get up. Nopsey holding him. Now a little bit of caution there for the conversation from the ref. Higgins, 39 seconds. Higgins maybe running out of gas here just a little bit. Trying to get a hand loose, and now a caution on Higgins. Higgins gets up onto his hands right as he was cautioned. 26 seconds. Higgins up onto his knees. 20 seconds. Higgins broken back down. Higgins up on a knee again. Trying to fight out of trouble. 12 seconds. Higgins, if he can hold on here, even if he gives up a stalling point, he'll get the decision. 2, 1, and that will do it. Higgins gets a big decision, gets Medford back on the board. 28-12. And that will send us now to 144. That will be Parker Listener against, we'll see from Central. They've got Maverick Kostrak or Christopher Warman, both available there. Listener, it'll be Kostrak. So Kostrak will wrestle Listener here at 144. This is a big one here if you're Medford. You're running out of opportunities for points. Listener needs to get something here. This isn't just a lose well, this is a get points. Listener spins back around. They'll recenter this one back in the middle. Listener fighting this one off again. Now Listener will get a good grip, but the grip comes back the other way. Listener spins out. He'll just give up the 2. That one had some danger in it early. Listener, very good defensive wrestler from underneath. It is not easy to get him over. 1:20 to go in the period. Kostrak fighting through this one. Listener broken back down. 1:08 to go in the period. Listener up onto his knees. Now broken back down again. Kostrak maybe had an angle there for a second. Listener closed it off quickly. Now battling some more. As now Listener onto his side. Listener in some trouble. Needs to get back over. Count is on. Listener able to spin back out, but he'll give up the 2. Back points there. 40 seconds to go here in the first. Still battling. Listener broken back down again. 30 seconds. Listener still battling. 16 seconds. Listener up onto his knees. Trying to spin out of trouble, but now, went into the play there a little bit. Listener was free for a second. The ref didn't give it to him, and that'll be the period. Nope, they will give the escape. So Listener gets a point out of that in the end. Kostrak will choose down. Battling here. Listener trying to break down the arm. Kostrak kind of holding here. Kostrak now trying to back out of trouble, back into Listener a little bit. Kostrak will get up. Listener breaks him back down. Had to look there just for a second. And that will wrap up. The other match is wrapped up. Whoever wins this one will wrestle St. Croix Falls as still, and now they'll get the 2 for the reversal. Kostrak 6-1. So the first match of the day is over. St. Croix Falls Saints advance to the final. It's whether they will wrestle St. Croix Falls or Medford. Listener in trouble again, though, over here. Listener is on the side on his hips. This might be trouble here. Listener, and now he's going to get Listener on his back. That might be it. Listener able to arch his back enough to keep that shoulder off the mat, but he's in serious trouble here. He's got to hold this for 34 seconds. Kostrak getting instructions, trying, Listener turning back on it a bit. Kostrak putting a little more pressure on it now, 20 seconds. Listener holding on for dear life, 13 seconds. Listener, I think Listener might be done here. Does got to hold on for 7 more if he can. Gets turned back up just a bit. 3 seconds. He will survive. He'll give up the 3, but he'll survive to the 3rd. Listener's going to choose neutral. So Listener battling here. Listener spinning back around. Listener and Kostrak, excuse me, I'm in trouble, and that's going to be another takedown. 11-1, and that's going to do it. Listener has not shown an ability to get out from underneath this. He had that one escape that was iffy right at the end of the second period. But 1:23 to go here. Listener needs to get the reversal into a pin. That's his only option here. Kostrak holding on well. Gets Listener broken back down. Got a good grip on the arm. Listener turning onto his side. Now Kostrak's going to try and use that to his advantage. Listener gets back on his stomach. 1 minute to go in the period. NGL fans clearing out. Their team tournament is done. We will see them up at Tomahawk on Saturday for the individual sectional. They've got several wrestlers wrestling up there. Trouble here as Listener pulling himself out, and he's going to slide out of the mat. 35 seconds. Maybe a chance here for Listener off the start. But yeah, if Lister can, again though, if Lister can get a decision here, you don't fall too far behind. You'd be down 19 with 3 matches. So actually, no. This would be it. Yeah, Lister, this is going to do it. Final seconds ticking down. And that is it. Kostrak will get the win, get the decision. Oh, it might even be a major. It is, and 20 points with 4 to go. Medford needs everything out of these last few. So they need 24. They need 20 out of a possible 24 here the rest of the way. 150, that'll be Corey Lindahl. Wrestling, it'll be Lucas Court. Just checking some things here. So yeah, 4 weight classes to go yet. You got 50, 57, 65, and 75. Medford needs 20 of the 24 possible points. So you can give up one decision and still, you can win one by decision and still get a tie. Any loss is over. So Lindahl gets a grip underneath, slides out. This is actually not court. This is Christopher Warman wrestling up at 150. Battle this one back around. Flip this one along. Some part of something lost there. And now the headgear comes off. The ref's going to wait to see if somebody gets an advantage out of this. Now we'll whistle for the safety with the headgear. It looks like the headgear might have broke. So we'll get a pause in the action here. Those of you that are joining us from the other side. 32-12, the St. Croix Central Panthers lead right now. Medford in their last chances here. They need 20 out of the 24 possible points. So we get new headgear and we're back ready to go. Lindahl and Warman. Lindahl goes low, gets the 2 for the takedown. Lindahl trying to get an advantage here. He's got a good grip around the arm. Trying to turn him. Warman trying to spin out of trouble. Lindahl got him on his side, but can't quite get him over. Lindahl's going to switch sides now. Try and work from the far side, 56 seconds to go. Lindahl fighting through this, and we'll get a safety stop. So a chance to reset here. Lindahl breaks him down. Lindahl trying to find leverage here. Be interesting to see how long the ref lets Warman battle underneath. Now a chance here. Lindahl has him over. Lindahl getting into position. Lindahl pushing and has to give it back. Holding the 3 right now. And we'll give the 3. 5-0. Lindahl gets him on his side again. Lindahl working from the near side, and we're going to get a stoppage end of the period. 5-0. Lindahl is going to defer, and Warman is going to choose neutral. Lindahl breaking down. Sees a turnaround and gets. It's a little bit of a battle yet. Now Lindahl's got a chance. He'll get the 2. Warman able to spin out of trouble. 7-0. Now Lindahl's got him on his back. Lindahl just waiting. Ref, there's the pin. Raiders stay alive. Lindahl gets the pin at 150. That keeps the Raiders' chances alive. Now they need 14. They need 14 out of a possible 18. So that sends us to 157. That will be Gage Lesevitz. And you got Brock Swenson weighs in at 157. Let's see who they put up on the scoreboard here. So it will be Lesevitz and Swenson. Lesevitz trying to find his angle. Leshevitz, grip around the leg. Gets him over, gets the 2. Now time for Gage Leshevitz to go to work. Leshevitz spinning this one around. Now looking for options, 1:28 to go here in the first period. Swenson up on a knee for a second. Leshevitz gets a grip around the back leg, pucks it back in. Now trying to flip him. Nothing going there. 1:11 to go. Leshevitz still battling. Leshevitz in a little bit of trouble. Lost his grip there for a second. Swenson's got a grip around his leg. Leshevitz might be able to use that to his advantage. Leshevitz trying to go with. Now they'll reset. Leshevitz. Oh, had an opening there. Couldn't quite get the grip to get him over. 1:42 to go. Now Swenson with a grip around Leshevitz's leg. Now trying to turn that back over. Leshevitz trying to turn it back the other way. Can't quite though. He's just got that weird grip on his leg. Now breaks free of that grip. 23 seconds. Leshevitz breaks it back down. 19 seconds. Gets him. Oh, had him over for a second. Couldn't get it. Couldn't hold it. 12 seconds. Swenson a grip around Leshevitz's leg again. Trying to fight into Gage. Swenson still fighting, and now we get caught. That is the end of the first period. See, they're going to choose. And before that, we've got a blood time. 63-12 on the other mat, so that one is final. We'll get a stoppage here for the blood time. And then once this is done, we will get a 20-minute break, and then we will be back. Streams will stay active. Cameras are going to switch around a little bit as we get both streams set up for the single championship match. That will be 20 minutes after the end of this one. That will be St. Croix Falls against either Medford or St. Croix Central. This is not decided yet. This one, battling again. Gage Leshevitz, if he can get another, gets a grip around the head, looking to get that takedown. Trying to find an angle here. Swenson holding on for the moment. Now Leshevitz can't get the takedown, but gets a grip around him. Swenson will slide out. So we will reset, 1:36 to go. For Swenson here, survive with a decision, you send your team to the finals. Leshevitz, you need a pin. Pure and simple at this point, I think you want a pin here if you can get it. Pressure coming, whistle, and that's going to be out of bounds. Swenson running to the boundaries pretty quickly as Leshevitz goes low. They get tied up. Leshevitz gets a grip over the leg. Had him for a second, but Leshevitz will get the 2. 4-0. And now Leshevitz needs to get the turn. Swenson up onto a knee. Leshevitz gets over on the far side, trying to drive through him. Swenson runs away. 50 seconds. Leshevitz battling through. Oh, Swenson almost had a chance to escape, but now Leshevitz grip around the back. You can give up 4 points total and still have a chance with the tie, get into the tiebreakers. But if you could get pins here, 27 seconds. Gage Leshevitz trying to turn. He's got him close a couple times, has not been able to hold it. Leshevitz again trying to spin this around. Now a chance here, had him for a second, but loses it. Swenson just too good from underneath. Battling through it here. Final seconds. And that will be End of the second, we head to the third. And Swenson will choose down. Leshevitz. Able to keep a good grip here. At some point, if you're Leshevitz, you got to take a risk. There's no help in just riding here. You need the pin, a tech fall, something like that. As Swenson gets up, Leshevitz breaks him back down. Maybe had an angle there for a second. Swenson gets into a good stance, and they will slide out. 1:36 to go. So waiting a second here. Make sure that Swenson is all right. Leshevitz goes to work quickly. Leshevitz trying to get a grip. Trying to hold on here. Swenson spinning out of trouble. Leshevitz trying to flip him around. Now he'll get a better grip. 120. Now Swenson will set more standardly. Gage can't quite get it. Swenson has done a great job from the bottom most of this match of just staying out of trouble and staying out of stalls too. 1:02 remaining. Swenson up on his feet. Leshevitz, maybe a chance here. They'll give the one for the escape. Leshevitz a chance here now to maybe get a takedown more in what he wants. Grip around the leg. Leshevitz, 142. Swenson's got a grip around both legs. Leshevitz trying to do something here, 33 seconds. Leshevitz had it there for a second. 27 seconds. Decision here isn't the end. They'll give the two. That'll be 6-1, 19 seconds. 15 seconds here as the nose plug comes out. No blood yet. 6 seconds. Leshevitz can't get him over, and that will be it. We'll get the decision. 21. Trying to do my math here real quick. So 11 out of 12 is what is left. So Medford still does have a path. Need 11 out of the potential next 12 available points. You've got 2 weight classes left. 65 and 75. And nope, that'll be it. Did not have anybody at 165 that was available. So that means that it will be St. Croix Falls and St. Croix Central. As we'll get a forfeit here. So it'll end 38-27. Medford's team season will come to an end. And we will pack things up. We will not pack things up, but we will get things reset, and we will be back with the championship match in about 20 minutes, so stick around.
1, 2. Test 1, 2.
I'm just gonna get it started. You can say what you're saying. If you want to like ask me questions. Oh yeah. We can kind of just go for it there. Go to YouTube and search Sports on Focus. All right, welcome back into the field house here in Somerset as we get set for the championship match of this sectional. It will be the St. Croix Falls Saints taking on the St. Croix Central Panthers. Steve Ockenick, Sports on Focus, here to take you through this one, joined by Jens Lance. Those of you Saint fans heard him in the first match. I guess we'll start there. Saints, quick work of Neillsville Greenwood Loyal, got themselves a little extra break. How much does that play in here in a sectional final like this?
Yeah, no, they went to work. They started fast, and they made quick work of it. Obviously, Neillsville had a few holes in their lineup, weren't quite able to fill a full team. But yeah, this duel I'm really looking forward to. These guys met earlier in the year. St. Croix Falls, you know, they kind of put it on them. So looking to kind of see what adjustments St. Croix Central can make. Obviously, they were First time they wrestled, St. Croix Central wasn't maybe full health. They were missing 3-4 guys. So we'll see if that plays a big factor into tonight's duel.
So obviously 2 teams familiar with each other. As you said, they've wrestled once already. You know, is there anything as a coach as well where you're like, okay, I know this matchup didn't work for us. Do we maybe move this guy, do some moving around from what you learned the first time?
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see a little bit of it. Sometimes you can get a little too pretty, and I think coaches kind of have to find that balance of making sure they're not doing too much, right? And so these guys, they've wrestled more than once this year. For the most part, they've seen each other a lot. So, you know, they definitely have a feel for each other, and so now it's going to be who can execute.
Absolutely. As we tick down the final seconds here to the start of this one. Haven't heard where we're
started at 190 last duel, so we'll start at 215 here. And I do believe this is a rematch from earlier this year, so in the duel. I could be wrong, but I do believe these guys maybe met.
This one, 215, that was Hayden Buckle. I know on my side, Hayden Buckle got a late pin, final few seconds of the third period, and got an opportunity, but he will not wrestle here at 215.
Yep, Hayden Buckle, 190, he bumped up last duel. So here we're going to see Aiden Ballard from St. Croix Central, and then actually we're going to see Joe Pethenbridge bump up for St. Croix Falls. So these guys have not met, I don't believe. Right away you make those comments, and we're seeing a little shifting of the lineup. Joe coming up from 190 to 215. So we'll see. Joe definitely has a length advantage here. He's in on a single early, bringing it up to his feet. He looks to go cradle right away, and puts him on his back right away. That's big points early if he can get this. Bonus points are a factor early. He's going to pick up 3 near fall. That's a big start for St. Croix Falls. If you're St. Croix Central, if you're Aiden Ballard, you just got to make small adjustments. Can't get it all back at one time here. You know, he's looking to build his base here, come to his feet. St. Croix Falls, big cradle team. I saw it in the first duel. They're going to look for cradles all night long. Right here, he looks for another one. He's getting close to it, getting his hands locked. And he's taking him over here. Going to get another set of back points. Looking for the fall. 50 seconds left here. These are big bonus points. Big bonus points. That's how St. Croix Falls won the first duel. Bonus points. You want to win big matches, you got to pick up bonus points. And just the opposite, right? You can't be giving up bonus points in big matches.
You know, and how much, you know, getting an early pin, a first period pin in the first match of the duel, how much extra confidence does that give a team going into the rest of it?
It sets the tone for the rest of the duel. That was huge, right? Gets the crowd into it. Momentum is a real thing, okay? I mean, that's huge for St. Croix Falls. Come out strong and get the crowd into it right away. Moving on up to heavyweight, St. Croix Central, we'll see Landon Langer. And then from St. Croix Falls, I believe
that is Bachman.
Bachman, okay. Bachman didn't have a match first. This is his first match.
And Langer, he lost. He got pinned by Max Dietzman of Medford in that first one. So probably looking for a little redemption
here.
Yeah,
got to put that one in the rearview mirror, right? And now you got to focus on the task in front of you, right? And that's go, you know, score 1 point at a time. Don't focus too much on the outcome. It's how do I do my job, right? And I'm sure his coaches have preached that all week to them. How do you do your job? If that's don't give up bonus points, well, you better not give up bonus points.
Yeah, and you mentioned the bonus points. I'm thinking you're talking like, you know, getting a decision. If you're going to lose a decision instead of a pin or something like that.
Yep, yeah. No, I expect this to be a tightly contested match, you know, so those bonus points are what is going to be the difference. Could be, we'll see what happens here, but yeah, I mean, these matches are going to be tightly contested. So, you know, like I said, those bonus points are really going to make the difference. Yeah. Right now you're seeing St. Croix Falls really push the pace. You're going to see a stall call, yeah. You wrestle on the edge, you're given a reason for the official to start hitting you for stalling. You gotta really continue to pressure forward and stay in the center of the mat. St. Croix Falls doing a great job pulling on the head, getting his head underneath his chin. Right, he's gonna try and pull him to the mat. Great game plan here for St. Croix Falls. You can tell early, he's just trying to get him down to the mat. This right here is gonna pay dividends if this match comes to the second, third period. This will really wear on a guy. And there you go, you see it. You get him down to on his hands and knees, he's gonna be a lot quicker. Great work from St. Croix Falls there. Another opportunity, we'll see. He gets a half, he's looking for a half Nelson on the left side.
You know, and when you're fighting from the bottom like this, especially when maybe you're not the quicker guy, you know, what's kind of the strategy?
Yeah, you got to find hand control, right? You can't give the ref a reason to call you for stalling, so you can't really lay down there. You got to continue to build up, you know, and look for hand control and stay in good position down there. And St. Croix Falls obviously smells a little blood. They feel pretty confident. I think from the last meeting these guys had, they want to get on top. They want to go get those bonus points. You're really going to need to see Landon build up. Right now, he's got his head on the mat. Not a great look. Not a great look for St. Croix Central. We might, very quick stall call, 10 seconds in. Maybe a little too quick, but, you know, he's not giving himself and doing himself any favors by keeping his head on the mat right now. Arm on the back. This is not good. This is not a good position.
Yeah, looks like he's got both arms now. That can't be.
No, he's in a tough spot. Great work. What I see from St. Croix Falls is they're just on the hunt right now. Big pin again for St. Croix Falls. They obviously have a good understanding of what has to be done. So far, St. Croix Falls really controlling the momentum.
You know, and you know, looking styles now. Obviously, you know, you get the big win at 285. Now you come all the way back around to the top in the 106, and
big difference.
You know, I mean, what are you looking at differently style-wise from the two?
You're going to see a lot more speed, a lot more quickness here. You're going to see a lot more action right away here at 106. Right away, you got Caden Hahn from St. Croix Falls, and then Trenton Holzer from St. Croix Central. Both sophomores, right? Great, very good athletic kids, very well understanding of the sport. So this will be a fun one.
Always like getting down into these smaller weights because it's just, there's always action.
There's great action. Right away, you see Caden Hahn come out, pressuring right away. Nice little low-level attack there from Caden Hahn. He's controlling. Nice shot there from Trenton Holzer. In on the edge here. He's going to have to get back down the single leg. He's going to have to keep wrestling here. Know where you're at on the edge of the mat. Caden Hahn did a great job getting his leg back to the mat. Good little action, like we talked about. That's a lot of action right away in 30 seconds, right? No points on the board, but good action right away.
And, you know, you talk a little bit about that, but, you know, when you get that grip around, when you're the guy that's got the leg gripped in like that, what's your kind of your strategy to get out of that?
Yeah, you just got to fight hands, right? From any position, bottom, on the feet, you're constantly battling hands, head position, right? We've seen Trenton Holzer get in really deep on two lefty singles right away, right? He's going to have to make a little adjustment here to finish those leg attacks. Nice underhook there from Trenton. Just going to have to follow up those attacks. These are really good attacks here from Trenton Holzer right off the bat. Caden Hahn walking into him a little bit too much, a little anxious, you can tell. Right, Caden's got to settle down, get to his own attacks good there. Good little defense there from Caden Hahn. Trenton definitely getting to those legs. He's got a good bite on that. He's a lefty. He's shooting right to Caden Hahn's lead leg. There you see a stall call right there. About 5 tacks to 0 here in the last 30 seconds.
And not just that, but it seems that that Hahn has kind of been running to the boundary pretty quick there too.
Yeah, no, and Trenton's making him look like that. You know, he's doing a great job of getting to the legs. Right, this is a huge swing match here for St. Croix Central if they can get this momentum back on their side. As you see here, Caden Hahn again pressuring, right? But he's a little wild in his pressure. He needs to really continue to fight hands, keep good head pressure. Don't want to just walk into those shots. He's walked into about 5 shots early on here, but he's kind of feeling it now here. Short time here, big points. These are big points right away. Great job here at the end of the period, not giving up any scores. Great first period, ton of action, about 10 leg attacks there. Caden Hahn, he's gonna defer. St. Croix Falls is gonna defer. Trenton, he's gonna go down here right away.
And what's the strategy choosing? I mean, obviously part of it is getting the escape point, I'm sure, but
yeah, you want to put the first points on the board, right? If this were to go to overtime, he would have first choice if he's able to score. First points on the board in overtime, he'll get the choice. Nice little tilt action here from Caden. Nice, no near fall, couple swipes, but nothing to show for it. Great job, he's got a bar arm now. Trenton needs to really focus on building up. Oh, that's gonna get tight in a hurry. Great job from Caden Hahn. These are big bonus points. Trenton comes out. He's gonna get 3 near fall. Right, he's still in control here. Trenton really needs to turn and kick. He doesn't want to be in this position. He wants to turn and kick. Get off him. He's just wasting time right now. Those are big points there for Caden Hahn. Doing a great job on top, attacking a wrist, keeping him flat, right? St. Croix Falls, the difference right now is they are just relentless on top. Cradles, bars, they're looking for turns. They're not holding on, trying to win close matches. They want to put points on the board. Just as I say that, Trenton does a good job getting to his feet. Good little mat return there from Caden Hahn.
And at this point here where, I mean, Holzer's got to start getting a little tired here as, he's been fighting from the bottom this whole time and had that extra weight on him. But, what's kind of your strategy to get out of this?
Yeah, he's just got to keep moving. You can't score everything back at once. You got to worry about scoring the next point, and that's getting to your feet, getting hand control, and getting out. He's doing a good job getting to his feet now. Now he's got to turn and kick. He's wrestling. He wants to be sprawling. Great job right there from Caden Hahn. Big lift and a return, right? In those instances, when somebody drops down on a leg, you want to either pick hands, stuff the head, or turn and kick, right? You don't want to come back over top. Great ride here, though, by Caden Hahn. Doing a great job, looking to get the wrist on the back there. Caden goes up 3-0 here in the third period. He's going to choose down.
I'm sure trying to give himself that 4-point advantage.
Yeah. Caden doing a good job right now. Got a good, strong base. But just as I say that, Trenton breaks that base there. He's obviously looking for a cross-face cradle. He's really coming hard for it. Trenton really aggressive here on top. If he keeps up this effort, you might see another stall call come here. Caden doing a great job of just holding a strong base.
And does it seem more that Trenton is more kind of going just to get the pin rather than looking to score, get even up points here at this point in the match?
He's doing a great job. He's got to find a way to get him on his back, right? And he's got to make a decision here soon. Do I continue to ride for the loss, or do I maybe let him go and look for something a little different? He had a good bite on some of those leg attacks early in the first period. Looks like he might choose to ride him here. He would have had to probably let him go here any second, but he's gonna hold on for the ride. He's gonna pull him back. Nice job of swimming there from Caden Hahn. And there's a good, nice little reversal. We're kind of in that bonus point territory again. Caden gets one more turn. We see bonus points. Trenton has to be very careful. Sometimes you have to concede the loss, but make sure you don't give up extra points, extra team points. So got to be smart here if you're Trenton Holzer. Caden Hahn, these are big bonus points out here. You're going to come back to the center with 35, 40 seconds left, right? You're going to look for one more turn.
and sometimes I would use the term, in certain points of a duel, you sometimes just have to accept that you need to lose well.
Yep, yep. And that's a hard concept to tell any athlete, but this is a team sport. That's why we're here, right? Caden doing a very good job. Very impressed so far with St. Croix Falls' ability to ride. They've done a great job scoring from the top position. Great effort here by both guys, though, so far. Nothing to hang your head about if you're Trent Holzer. He attacked early, attacked a lot, right? Today, Caden just was a step ahead of him.
And I mean, this definitely feels like one that could go completely opposite and tomahawk on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yep. No, they probably have a really good shot of seeing each other on Saturday.
So now, if you're, kind of giving the pep talk in the St. Croix Central, bench, what's kind of the conversation here?
Don't get too crazy here. I know it's not going your way right now, but hey, we just got to take this one match at a time. There's a lot of wrestling left here, right? You can't go get it back by yourself, right? You need to really focus on what your job is, right, and really try and turn the table.
So DeLong and Vbrock here.
I'm not sure if these guys saw each other last week or not at regionals. I know DeLong, I believe he won the regional, and Vbrock maybe took third. So I do believe these guys met in the finals with Garrett DeLong maybe coming out on top. Very good match. Vbrock, a freshman, very long and lengthy.
Is that a bit of an advantage here, especially at this weight level?
It can be, if you know how to use your length. It's a tough task, though, for a freshman to come in here, right? 113 against DeLong, right? A little more experience, been on the mat here a little bit more, and that's why I say that he gets in on a leg. There's a takedown there for DeLong. Way to get his feet. He got his feet off the mat. Makes it hard to defend when you get their feet off the mat.
And you're seeing more and more now, not so much the big hard slam down, but more setting down.
Yep. No, you definitely have to be careful. You got to finish hard, but you got to be careful of finishing, and putting your opponent in an unsafe position. So, again, early stall call there for Garrett DeLong. These refs, they're not going to give anybody a break. They like to call stalling pretty early.
And
they want to see action, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody watching wants to see a little action too.
Right.
I mean,
right. Yep.
There are exciting 1-0 matches, and then there are not so exciting.
For sure, for sure.
And then here, he's got the arm wrapped around from underneath. How do you, again, is it just handwork trying to get that out, or?
That's all about, again, peeling hands, right? Peeling hands before it gets to that position. That was a nice little sequence there on top for Garrett DeLong. Putting some things together. Great bump and chop off the whistle there for DeLong. Doing a great job. Vbrock really needs to pick up his activity from the bottom position if he's once again escape. Right now, just not able to get any hip separation.
And is there a strategy sometimes of just, if you kind of have the clock in your mind of riding out a period?
Yes, always finish the periods on top. That's a huge thing here in big matches, especially down the stretch here as we head into sectionals in state. You got to finish periods on top, right? You get a takedown with 20 seconds left. You got to mat return them. You got to put them back down. No easy points in short time situations. Again, DeLong with that cross wrist right away. He's doing a great job. Hand control there. You see it from Vbrock. Good. That's great work. He's got to continue to get his hips underneath him, though, as he's peeling hands. Goes to a little short sit here. DeLong continuing to drive forward. Puts him back down. Another good hand control there from V-Brock. Garrett DeLong looks frustrated. He's got to keep his cool here. Big matches, you got to stay focused. V-Brock doing a great job of getting hand control. There's a good little trip there. There he's got this ball and chain. Again, we'll see what he looks for here. There's opportunity to score some points here. Garrett DeLong, he's putting some things together. I'm surprised we maybe haven't seen a stall call as quick as we saw one in the first period.
And that's completely the discretion of the official.
It is, yep. Got to see V-Brock get his head off the mat if he wants to escape. He's got good hand control, but you got to put two things together.
Final seconds here, and I mean, how has DeLong been able to keep control when it kind of almost looks like he's always just about to lose it?
Yeah, he's a sponge down there. He continues to drive forward. He continues to smother him down there, never giving him too much opportunity. Anytime V-Brock has a little bit of space, he makes sure to take that space away. DeLong, he's going to choose top. He's up 2-0 here. Maybe would have seen him go neutral. He got a pretty easy takedown there in the first period, or down. But obviously these coaches have a game plan. They've talked about it all week, right? So they're going to stick with their game plan. That's important.
And do you think maybe it's helped in that decision that DeLong's been able to kind of get V-Brock on his side a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. He's just got to find a way to get him to his back. He's done everything right, but he hasn't converted it into any points. So these are huge opportunities here. He's got to make something of it. He is doing a great job, right? He's got to find a way to put some more points on the board here for his team.
And this is a spot where if they do give the actual stalling point, it could be a big change in the kind of the tenor of the match.
Oh, for sure. I'm really surprised we didn't see kind of on the edge here, not much happening.
It's got to be a bad position though when you're a wrestler, when you're on your backside like that.
Right, yes, no. V-Brock, he just needed to keep scooting his hips, but he ran out of real estate there on the edge of the mat. Hard to scoot when when you scoot you're going to go out of bounds. So he had the right intentions, just ran out of room there. Nice, good chop, bump off the whistle, right? V-Brock looking for hand control. He's doing a very good job of getting hand control. His head's been on the mat a lot, and there's your stall call.
We'll see how quick they turn that into a point.
Yeah, well, short time. We're under 30 seconds here. It's going to be hard to get some bonus points here, but really a great job of mat work here from Garrett DeLong on top. Just not able to really put any points on the board. And we could, if we're in a situation where we could see overtime. Nice little flurry at the end there.
I'm sure that's what, if you're St. Croix Falls, that's what you want to see from V-Brock as well.
Yes.
That little extra at the end, not giving up.
Yeah. No, that's, I don't want to say that's a win for V-Brock because I think he had the intention to go out there and definitely get his hand raised. But that's DeLong had his goal, and that was definitely to put some bonus points on the scoreboard. Wasn't able to do that.
At 120, St. Croix Falls, Carter Ridgway. And for St. Croix Central, Will Schmidt.
So, yep, Carter Ridgway, Will Schmidt. I know Schmidt got the win was pinned, at 120 in the semifinal.
Will's going to come at you with a lot of speed, a lot of power. Very explosive, very dynamic.
Yeah, he got himself, he kind of overextended a little bit and got himself in some trouble in that first match. We'll see if he cleans that up a little bit here.
Wrestling on the edge there from a little underhook position. He gets in on a leg, comes through the middle. He's going to look to push that knee off there, and there's your, looks to be a takedown right there, hands across. Ref stopped a little early. Might have been unnecessary roughness, not sure. He stopped it early, didn't let it get out of control.
I imagine that's got to be a big part too, is just making sure you don't let guys get a little too chippy in there.
Yeah, for sure. I think he did a good job of maybe stopping that before it did get to. Refs never want to, cost anybody team points, so I think he did a good job of stopping that, maybe cooling it before it got too chippy.
Schmidt's got an interesting grip on the bottom there.
Yeah, he's going to go to a near leg Turk. He's trying to go across the face there. Turn his hips, right, and then pull his face and look to get some near fall. He's going to intentionally release him here with about 45 seconds to go, right? And now he's going to go and look to put points on the board. 2-1 here, 30 seconds left in the first period.
And that intentional release, that's more just you don't like the position you're in coming off the restart. You want something a little different.
Yeah. I think Will's goal obviously here is to go and put points on the board. You can kind of see it. He's got a good hard pace, and he wants to kind of light up that scoreboard right now. Little blood time here for St. Croix Falls. Ridgway just a freshman here. Really battling. He's doing a good job of staying in the center and really hand fighting hard. Not really backing down at all. Sometimes that pressure can overwhelm guys, especially young guys, and you see him make some mistakes, but he's doing a very good job in there.
And what's kind of, I know, you're probably not supposed to coach in this situation, but you're probably having a conversation with your guy. What are you kind of telling Ridgway here in terms of maybe strategy or something?
Yeah, if I'm Coach Rager here, I'm just continuing to encourage him to do what he's doing. He's doing a great job. He just got to keep fighting, right? Continue to stay disciplined and just fight out there, right? Don't back down.
Ooh.
And he's just battling. That's great motion from. Great little headlock on the edge there. No points yet. His foot's on the out of bounds line there. They're not going to give any points. That was really close for Ridgway.
Obviously half of the people in blue each have their cheering interest, but would you have given points there?
It was extremely close. He probably made the right call. It was, I wouldn't have argued with him if he would have given it either. But it was very, very close. Will Schmidt starts on bottom. He's able to get to his feet and clear out right away. Ridgway in an underhook position here. On the edge here. If I'm Will Schmidt, I'm probably looking to clear that you can tell Ridgway, he's not scared of the opportunity. He's doing a great job. He's getting his hands on Will. Will is speed. You can see Will's pace slow down just a little bit, right? I think it kind of, that little flurry at the end of the first period maybe took a little bit out of him. Nice little duck attempt. Good counter by Ridgway there. I'm very impressed with Ridgway here. He's able to feel some of these things out.
And I imagine for Ridgway, the longer and longer he keeps this going, it's got to be giving him more and more confidence.
More and more yes, that's exactly it. He should be building confidence from these situations. Yeah, he's doing a great job. .45 seconds here on the restart was in the second period. Continue to see Will Schmidt go forward. There's another stall point on from Ridgway. Another point on the board there for Will Schmidt.
And that really changes the face of the match too now,
Yeah,
with the 3-point deficit.
Yep. Big points here at the end of the first or second period. Who can end the period on top? If I'm a coach, I want to be ending the period on top. I want my athlete ending the period on top, not standing around. And there's that takedown. Short time left. That's how you finish a period right there. Those are big points. Big points.
You know, and you look at the difference, 4-1, you know, start on the bottom, up, takedown, you're tied. Now all of a sudden it's 6-1, and you probably are up.
Now, that makes a huge difference, that takedown at the end of the first period. Ridgway chooses bottom. Again, Will Schmidt's going to go intentional release. Lets him go 6-2 here. 6-2, third period, we're 15 seconds in.
And if you're Ridgway, you're either, I'm assuming here you're maybe looking to play the takedown, release, try and get those points built back up if you can't get him turned.
For sure. Yeah, Will Schmidt continues to stay on the offense. Ridgway, he's doing a great job. He's staying in there, he's battling hard, not giving anything. You can see he's really slowed down. Will Schmidt's really slowed down his offense. Credit to Ridgway of really slowing this match down for himself. This is a big match and he was able to slow it down, right? Got himself in some flurries and you can see he's in this match. This is big time for the freshman. If you see Will continue to attack, we might see another stall call. Wrestles him through the out of bounds there. You can see the St. Croix Falls coaches really encouraging his effort, right? That gives an athlete a lot of confidence. There's another sweep. Nothing there, nothing. There it is, takedown, right? 8-2, he's gonna go intentional release. Makes it 8-3, 5 points here, right? He's gotta really get on the offense. Could we see another stall call on a leg attack and finish? He's running out of time. These are big bonus points. You saw St. Croix Falls. Pick up these bonus points. All right, that's the difference between these two teams right now. Is one team really finding a way to go and get those bonus points, and then St. Croix Central really struggling. Right, these are matches that they really probably counted on bonus points for. And they're not going to end up getting them right now.
Oh, and Ridgway looks like he's doing a great job keeping this neutral.
Yeah.
He's holding out on it.
No takedown, easy.
And another, I think you would say, probably a good loss.
That's a huge match for Ridgway. I think he would take that any day of the week.
So now you're St. Croix Falls, you've got a 7-point lead here. Obviously, no matter what happens, you're going to go into 126 with a lead.
Yes. Yes.
So,
yeah. No, I mean, there's going to be some fun matches, up and down this lineup. Here we're going to see Cole Steffen from St. Croix Falls. He's a regional qualifier. He's a senior. He's a leader in the program. I would assume he knows what his job is.
Cameron Willie wrestling up at 126.
Yep. Cameron, a junior, stepping up in the lineup, right? He's got to know his role too. All right, we saw St. Croix Falls' guy do his job, and Cole Steffen right away, takedown to the back. Doesn't get any near fall, but he ends up with a bar arm, right? And he's looking to put some more points on the board. He converts a takedown right into a turn. These are big points.
And he lets the arm go, maybe looking to reposition a little bit.
Yeah, he's sealing off down there on the bottom, but he's going to have to work. Refs aren't going to want to see you. They're not going to want to see you just clinging up. They're going to call you for stalling every day of the week there. Cole Steffen really looking to get to his turns. Against a guy who may be just kind of curling up from the bottom position. Let him go, kind of open him up a little bit, right? Go get to your takedowns, right?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe injury time. He landed very awkwardly there on his head. Very awkwardly there. I think they're going to give the takedown.
No. I haven't seen him give.
He hasn't given them a takedown yet. He landed very gingerly there. I believe it was on his neck.
So
no takedown. They're not going to give him the takedown here.
could it be just for the injury, or?
Yeah, I think the way he landed, I think they maybe meant to stop it a little early. So still a 2-1 deficit here for Cameron. He's looking to horse him over there with double unders. By no means would Cole Steffen, mean to make him, land like that.
It's just one of the downsides of wrestling.
Yep. Another takedown from Cole Steffen there. Good leg attack, ran his feet to a finish. He's looking for a bar arm. That's going to get tight. Short time there. 10 seconds left in the period. Can he get the fall? Send St. Croix Falls fans up. And there it is. St. Croix Falls with another fall. That's three bonus point wins there.
Oh, and now you start looking 21-6. You've got a 15-point lead, and you start having the ability to,
Yeah, these matches get out of control with bonus points. That's huge. And St. Croix Falls, I know we've kind of hit on it a lot. You're probably sick of us talking about it, but that's how you win big duels too.
Oh yeah. And you're looking. You've got. So we go to. 132. So you got 132, 38, 44, 50, 57. So you got 8 matches left. So there's by no means are we anywhere close to being in danger situation for the Panthers.
Right. No, they got to keep chipping away. Got to keep chipping away. Here, Cody Fleck here, a senior, versus Teague Holzer, a senior. These guys wrestled in the duel. Saw Teague Holzer get a major.
And here, if you're St. Croix Central, you're just at this point you want to start getting some wins, get some momentum back going.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I think if you're Teague Holzer right away, you're cutting him and you're going and scoring another takedown. If I'm St. Croix Central's corner, I'm gonna go intentional release. I need at least 2-3 takedowns here in the first period. I know he's trying to probably go for the kill, but if I'm St. Croix Falls, my game plan is, hey, don't give up any big points early, right? So how do you go and put him on his back? Well, you continue to score points, you get him tired, and then hopefully he makes a mistake and you capitalize on it. But he's not going to make any of those mistakes right now, and really Teague riding him, he's not helping himself out at all. Easy takedown there in the first period, and now just a ride out. This is a bonus point situation here for St. Croix Central, and you take a 2-0 lead into the second period. It's hard to get bonus points from those situations.
And not just that, but it seems that Fleck is really good defensively from the bottom there, where it might be better to let him go and maybe take another stab at getting him in a bad spot on the takedown.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. No, you can tell he knows what his job is. His job is to give bonus points right now, right? He's gonna continue to look to win, right? But he's also not gonna make any mistakes. So, if you're St. Croix Central's coaching staff, you gotta realize that, and you gotta start, cutting him earlier and really putting the pressure on him. I mean, you saw he rode him for a minute 45, and wasn't able to score any bonus or really get any more points on the board. Right now, he's really got to pick up his activity level if he wants to go and put those points on the board. Fleck, he's got great low-level attack there. Fleck is not going to fall over for him, right? He's going to continue to battle. He's a very experienced wrestler, right? These are big points for Cody Fleck. Nice little scramble position, far ankle kickoff from Teague there. And here you kind of see it again. Oh, easy, quick stall call, I guess, from the referee here. Maybe a little bit of inconsistency on that side of things. You're seeing some things get called a little quicker than others, but he wants to see action. We knew that going into this.
And I imagine if you're St. Croix Central here, you want to see that too, just to maybe, and that's.
Yeah, no, Fleck's got to be really, really careful here. He's been hit for stalling now 3 or 4 times. I forget how many times, you get hit for stalling before you get DQ'd. If he continues to kind of ball up on the bottom, you might see something where he gets DQ'd. He's got to work. He's experienced. He's got to trust himself here. Go look to score.
And I imagine now for Holzer with a 7-0 lead compared to the 2-0 went into the period with, feel a little more comfortable, riding and working for the fall instead of playing the points game.
Teague's doing a great job on top. He's keeping a lot of pressure on Fleck. But at the same time, this is your leader, from St. Croix Central. You got to have bonus points from him, and right now he's fallen short of that.
Final seconds of the period. Whistling that one a little early.
Yeah, he did. Teague's going to go neutral here in the third period. 7-point lead. You can kind of hear the coach over there yelling, keep pushing the pace, right? You wore on him for 4 minutes. This is the time to really go and get those points. And just like that, Fleck is in actually pretty good position to wrestle. And he just kind of stopped wrestling there for a second. If he would have kept scooting there, he maybe could have scrambled out of it, but Teague savvy, able to score. Be interesting to see what Central's strategy is here. They're going to continue to ride.
Just kind of looks like Fleck more than happy to just kind of.
Yeah, no, he's doing his job. He understands that, Bonus points are the difference.
And I'm supposing, too, if you're Fleck, you don't want to...
There's another 2 points stall call. Next one, next one DQ. I don't know if I heard that right or not.
I'm not sure on that rule, but... And that would be considered
That would be a
same as
6
forfeit.
point.
That'd be six.
Yeah, be a 6 point swing. So
I mean, I've been doing this 7 years. I've never seen someone DQ'd for stalling.
I haven't either. You know, and Coach a little bit. He's a tough kid. He can wrestle here. I know he's got to do his job. Keep building his base. Keep building his base. Keep trying to get to his feet.
And he seems to be a little more active here after that last one. I'm thinking
Yeah,
that might have...
building his base. And he DQ'd him.
Wow.
He did. Interesting. He did DQ him. Wow. Interesting.
And he seemed to be pretty active underneath there at the end.
Yeah, he did. You saw all calls come a lot quicker in that match maybe than you have in previous matches.
And now
we'll see Piggy. Sorry, Lee or Everett Canospi here. He's a freshman, and then Isaac Briggs here, a sophomore here from St. Croix Falls.
You know, and also for both wrestlers now, after seeing a DQ like that, I imagine that's going to change your strategy a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. He's not afraid to call it. Isaac Briggs pulling him down into a front headlock, keeping his head underneath him, kind of a football front headlock we call it. Just pulling the head underneath your chest. Right, really pays dividends in the third period if you can continue to pull on his head. A lot of times bigger guys, heavier weights, they use that technique a lot just to really wear guys out. And then look to capitalize in the third period.
And it really feels like two guys kind of feeling each other out here a little bit, seeing what they can and can't use, what'll work and what won't.
For sure. Yep. Again in that football front headlock position, continuing to pull on his neck here. Everett looking for wrist. He's working to stay inside. Not a ton of action, just a lot of pushing, a lot of feeling each other out. There's a little level change attack from Everett Canospi, and you really see Isaac pulling on that head, pulling on that neck. And there it is. Briggs really trying to run the corner there, and he's got the angle, just not able to go get the leg. And now we'll see. Nice little action there. A lot happened there in that 30-second sprint there. 15 seconds left. Right, we talk about finishing periods on top. This would be a big one. Can you get on top here and ride somebody out and take that 2-0 advantage going into the second period? A lot of feeling each other out there that first period. Everett Canospi is going to defer. Briggs, St. Croix Falls, he's going to go underneath. Briggs, good solid base underneath there. Everett looking to attack a wrist. Nice little change over there from Briggs. He continues to move. That's what you want to see on bottom. You want to see constant motion from the bottom position. Continue to try and look for hip separation. And then Everett's doing a great job. He's just following. He's staying behind the arms. He's following. Now you want to see a little mat return. Oh, and there's a good little cutaway from Briggs. We'll see if Briggs continues to try and pull Everett underneath. There you see it again. He's really trying to pull on his head, get him underneath him. He's got what a lot of people refer to as heavy hands. They're heavy. Feels like cinder blocks just pulling down. There's a nice little shot from Everett. He comes up. There's a 2-on-1 from Everett. He's got a Russian tie. Takes him to the out of bounds, the edge of the mat there. Briggs is able to clear it. There, he's back on it. He's kind of, you can tell he's found something there with that 2-on-1. He feels comfortable there. Briggs in a really good, solid position stance. Still a lot of feeling each other out. Now Briggs going to take a 2-on-1 of his own. What you want to do with this 2-on-1 is you want to pressure, you want to look for an angle, maybe snap that arm down. Right now you're just seeing a lot of pushing with it. You're going to want to see him use it. That's a good control tie, but you got to use it somehow. Everett's kind of winning the head position battle here from this position. Oh, there's a good little snap there from Briggs.
So
third period here. Oh, and they select to go neutral. Interesting choice. Obviously doesn't feel confident going underneath Briggs. Maybe wrestled him before. Just not confident. Briggs continuing with those heavy hands, snapping. Good little level change from Briggs.
You know, and we're at a point where you're looking at serious potential of a 1-0 match, and you see 1-0 in wrestling, you think it must have been pretty boring, but this one has been anything but.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of taking people to the edge of the mat. Not a lot of points. No one's really committing to anything, right? They're just really staying. They're not finding angles. They're kind of locked up. The two bulls locked up. Nice little try to go behind there.
And is that a bit also of maybe not wanting to make a mistake?
For sure. Yep. Both, you can kind of tell just hearing the coaches in the corner, they had a game plan, right? And both these guys, give them credit. They've stuck to their game plans really well, and the other opponent just really hasn't made a mistake. You haven't seen any mistakes. Sometimes you want to go see your athletes wrestle and be okay making mistakes. There's the mistake you're kind of waiting for. And a little hard of a crossface there. We'll see if he goes. Okay. I do like it. He's not calling him and getting in the match. He's kind of warning him, giving him that. I don't want to see any more chippiness from him. So I like that call from the official. Obviously, if it's too blatant, there's going to be an unnecessary roughness call, and you'll see points. But
and I imagine here, if you're Briggs, don't want to take too many chances. You've got the decision.
Yeah. No, he did his job. He was able to kind of make fewer mistakes. We'll put it that way. Didn't really commit to anything, but he made his opponent make a mistake, and he took advantage of it. So that's called following the game plan to a T.
So, 44-12, and you start getting into that point where you start thinking, what do you need if you're St. Croix Central?
Yeah.
You've got matches left. We're at 138, so you've got 6, I believe?
6 match. Yeah.
6 matches. So, I mean, you've got 6 matches to get 12 points back to tie it up, but at the same time, you're running out of opportunities at the same time.
Yep. Yeah. And now you got Kellen Kelly You know, he's probably one of St. Croix Falls' biggest leaders here. Took third at the state tournament last year. I believe he's probably ranked second in the state right now. I believe he might be undefeated though. He's a goer. He's tricky. He does a lot of things right.
And you see Christopher Warman, who actually wrestled at 150.
Bumped up, yep.
In the first one.
Part of coaching strategy here. Watching Kelly in the past, he's not afraid to make mistakes, right? He can capitalize in a hurry. He's got a lot of dangerous things that he can do to put you on your back and to pin you.
No, and I imagine you see him there pulling him back in.
Yes.
Trying to keep. Must feel like he's in a good position if he's pulling him back towards the middle a bit.
He's got a little bit. He's got a bar arm. Looks like he might go bar arm one side and maybe a half or a wrist on the opposite side. It's hard to do much on the edge. You know, if I'm Kellen Kelly, maybe I'm thinking about, hey, let's go get a fresh start, and there you see it. You're constantly playing the edge, and you can't get a lot accomplished over there.
And I imagine if you're in somebody that might get in some trouble like that, you kind of want to be there. So
you want to be there. You got that safety blanket. You can always count on just getting out if you need to. St. Croix Falls not happy maybe with a potentially dangerous call, but anytime you put someone's arm on your back, you gotta be careful, especially in high school wrestling. They're gonna make sure they definitely have the bottom opponent's safety in mind in those positions. So not surprised that you see a potentially dangerous. Just as I say that, he's going to switch from a bar arm. Now he's looking cradle. He just has a lot of weapons that he can threaten you with.
And I imagine as a wrestler, having all those weapons, you can, and especially being able to convert over quickly, can really get your opponent in a bad spot.
Right. We always talk about how many tools can you put in your toolbox. The more tools you got, right, the more you can get done in a day. I think that's a win for St. Croix Central there, going into the second period 2-0. But, you know, there's a lot of time left in this match. So can you stay focused if you're Warman and continue to do your job? You see Kellen Kelly, he's going to choose neutral there. He's starting to look, I have a feeling he's going to start looking for the kill here soon. If I'm Warman, I'm probably trying to get to my belly a little quicker than that. He just put himself in a little bit of a dangerous position by holding on for too long. Great job, Kellen, of really, you know, converting 1 point into another point. That's what the elite wrestlers do. Warman looking to get his arm through, and there another, he capitalizes. He loses his Turk, but he ends up right in a bar arm. Kellen Kelly, he got a fall out of this position earlier tonight. We'll see if he can get to it again. He's really dangerous in these positions. He can score a lot of points in a hurry.
And you see him almost like playing into the pressure he's getting from Warman there.
Yes, no, he's doing a great job. He's going from one move to the next to the next. And that's how you put points on the board. And just like that, he finds a way to go and, and he lost. Got a little greedy there. I think he had, if he just would have settled back just a little bit, took his time, he would have had it. .20 left here in the second period. Kellen looking, he brings his leg out there, good call. Warman doing a really good job we kind of talk about doing your job, right? I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes, you hate to say it, but your job is to just not give up those big points. And so far, Orman's done a pretty good job of it. He's fought off his back a few times. Those are big. That's a big deal.
That's at least 3 points.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. He's continuing to fight. That's all you want to see from your athletes. You just want to see them fight. Never give up.
And you saw there right at the end, that would have been an easy one to just kind of give up on, but
Yep. He's
held his head and
continuing to fight. He's continuing to fight for himself and his teammates. Doing a great job. Kellen up. Quick little reversal there. Nice little, he's going to cut him right away and get right back in on the legs. And there you go again. You see it. He transitions so well to a leg Turk. Take one takedown and get it to the next.
Is he maybe now shooting for a major decision or something?
He's looking for a tech fall here. Yep. And this is kind of what, when you know your opponent's trying maybe not to get pinned, that's their goal. You have to get the next best thing, and that's a tech fall. And I think you're seeing St. Croix Falls do a good job of getting what's next, right? They're not holding on for one thing. They're wrestling to the next thing, and they're going and getting the next best thing.
Yep. And he gets it.
Great work by Kellen Kelly. Continued to stay on his offense. That's a great job, But kind of credit to Orman too. I mean, he fought, right? That's what you want to see.
Saved a point, I believe, right?
Yeah, saved a point. I mean, and maybe that was his job. Whatever your job is, you got to do it.
So we look.
Puts the team score at 29-12 here, heading into 150.
And if you're St. Croix Central, you're looking, you need, if I'm doing my math right, you need 17 out of 30.
Doable, but
Doable.
You gotta. It starts now, right? And St. Croix Falls has got some hammers coming up as well, so that's not an easy task, right? But it's going to get exciting, I think, down to the end. We'll have to see what kind of matchups we do have.
And now,
right now, you're going to see Maverick Kostrick versus Alex Hoff from St. Croix Falls. Hoff, I believe, is a sophomore. Kostrick, a junior. Both qualified here for the sectionals here this Saturday at Tomahawk High School.
Yep, and I can do some shilling. We'll have highlights from there all day.
Yes.
You can check out our Twitter feed at @SOnFocus. We'll be posting videos throughout the day from Tomahawk. That's individual sectional is always fun.
It is fun. It's these athletes, they're starting to feel that anxiety, that pressure, and so it's an exciting time of the year, but it's also a nerve-wracking and anxious time of the year as well, right? These student athletes, they put in a lot of time. Some of them are wrestling, throughout the year, multiple practices, maybe a day, sacrificing a lot of things, and so, this is what they really train for is this time of the year. So, obviously, we wish these guys the best of luck here over the next two weeks, and then one of the teams is going to move on to the team state tournament in 3 weeks. So,
our delay here, they messed up the scoreboard. I don't think Kelly won 29-12.
No.
So, yeah,
no, he ended up with a tech fall either way, but he didn't put quite that many points up on the board. I think he would have if they would have let this match continue to go.
The technology here, these fully, full color scoreboards are nice, but I think just having some technical issues with it right now.
Oh yeah, these things, it takes time to learn all this stuff.
Oh yeah. So, trying to get everything fixed. Now we bring in the whole couple other guys to try and figure it out, but
Got the IT team on standby here.
And when you get some of these delays, like you're all ready to go, you're all, you get checked in, you come out, you're ready to go, and then everyone's like, wait, nope, we got to stop for a second.
Yeah.
That's got to be a little frustrating as a wrestler.
Yeah, for sure. It's frustrating, but it's things happen in life, and as a coach, it's your job to make sure that no matter what happens, right, your bus breaks down, some things happen, and you just got to be relaxed and know that everything's going to be fine, and you just, your job doesn't change at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
So these guys, they're professionals about this, and there's a reason these two teams are as far as they are here tonight, because they do have great coaching staffs that make sure they're well prepared and ready for anything thrown at them.
So now we've got extra points in the team score.
I believe it's still
29-12. Yep, they're still trying to figure out all the technical issues.
Yep. You can kind of hear the crowd getting a little rambunctious. They're anxious as well. They want to see their team wrestle in 3 weeks down in Madison. That's such an awesome experience for the community.
And I've never had a chance to go. I'm sure you've been down there in the field house for team. That's got to be a whole different experience.
That's an awesome experience. It's more about the whole community. You pack dang near. These communities are pretty small up here, and I would say 30-40% of the population is down there in that field house, and it's rocking, it's loud, and yeah, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for these kids.
So they're gonna
and their communities too.
So just for people at home, because we're pulling in the scoreboard here from the gym, 33-12. That is not correct. I think they're just gonna punt some scoring to get that right on the scoreboard. So the correct team score is 29-12 right now.
Hoff in on a single high crouch early. Right away, Maverick switches, and he has a cradle opportunity locked up. He's got it. This is huge points, and you got to take advantage of those points. Those points are huge. When you get this cradle, you have to take advantage of it here. And right now, he doesn't have anything locked up. He's got to go for it. He doesn't have. Those are big points. I mean, that's a fun little sequence there. Both guys wrestling through positions, and yeah, that was a fun little sequence there. But man, if you're Maverick, you feel like maybe you missed out on some big points there.
I mean, looked like he had him almost in a position to take him right down onto his back, and
that's kind of a smell blood type situation, right? Blood in the water. You got a cradle locked up, and you kind of relax instead of go and make the kill. And I think he'll maybe look back on that one and regret that one. Both these guys, real good wrestlers. Getting after it right away. Maverick, I believe, bumped up. I believe this is 150. He qualified for sectionals at 144, if I'm not mistaken.
So they actually swapped from the Medford match, because from Medford, Maverick wrestled 144, Werman wrestled at 150.
Yes, correct.
So maybe a bit of strategy there.
Looked like Maverick kind of just quit wrestling there on the edge. Great job of Alex Hoff, really working the edge, pulling him back in, and finding a way to score there in short time situations. There's one of those situations again. You score at the end of the period, that's huge. Going into the second period 2-0 makes a big difference.
And almost getting the escape.
That's good hustle, good effort there from Maverick.
And you wonder, I don't know if you noticed that Maverick was grabbing his foot a little bit there when he came out of that takedown.
Maybe came down, landed a little weird, scared him, I think, more than anything in that position. Hoff selects the bottom position here. Obviously, probably a little bit of size disadvantage here with Hoff being at 150 and Maverick bumping up. See if that kind of takes a toll on Maverick here, if he's able to continue to wrestle through these positions. If you're Maverick, you don't want to sit there. You want to keep working into him. You don't want to relax in these positions. Alex Hoff really continuing to work through things. Great little wrestling here. They're continuing to kind of scramble around there. Maverick able to kind of come out on top. Minute left here. Hoff attacking hands, getting hand control. There you kind of see they're kind of back in the same position. If I'm Maverick, I really want to get my hips back up on top. I do not want to be laying here. Hoff doing a great job. He's going to have to keep moving, and there's a stalemate, right? If you're Hoff in those positions, you got to hustle there. You got to hustle and really keep moving, because you know the ref's going to be stalemate in that position. 50 seconds left here in the second period. This is a big ride here for Maverick. Hoff, this is a big point. Going to the third period, 3-0. Those are big points. If I'm Maverick here, you're in kind of an advantage position here. You can tell there's a little bit of a strength advantage here for Hoff. He keeps sitting him. Maverick throws a leg in and he's able to sit him. Maverick not able to generate enough power in these positions.
I mean, and giving credit, Maverick kind of holding on at this point and keeping from giving the escape too.
Yeah, no, he's doing a great job. This is, if I'm Hoff, you got to just kind of floating around him. This great job of Maverick. Hoff was, man, he was right there to get away. Maverick wincing a little bit, but third period here, you gotta really step up here. This is a big match. Obviously, we understand that there's not many opportunities left here for Central. There's fewer and fewer. Two cautions, one more, so a point for Maverick. That could have been huge there. That's close to a reversal there. Now, if he can turn him here, it's tied 2-2. These are big points on the board. Now you got to make a decision as a coaching staff. Do I try and hold him down, right? Or do I go and look for a takedown? You know, he's going to have to ride him the entire period just to send it into overtime. Hoff kind of just holding on. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe hit him for stalling. He's got to look to improve. He's just holding on to the arm. And he's kind of able to fight his hips back down. And there's that stall call kind of I was talking about. We got a minute left here. This is a great match, 2-2. It's going to come right down to the wire. Does Maverick feel confident enough to stay on top and to ride him out? And I don't know if I'd come over the arms if I'm Hoff. And he cuts him. Minute left here. He's been warned for stalling. Can Maverick go and get that takedown? And there it is. There's a takedown. He's got a cradle locked up too. He's got to go and get the... This is a big opportunity. We're kind of in that same situation. You get a cradle locked up, man, you got to score. And he's only got a takedown right now. And I don't know about that call. If I'm an official, I don't know how you make that call. That's a pinning combination, and you call someone for stalling. That confuses me a little bit, but. Maverick riding tough here. 15 seconds left. This is a great match. Less than 10 seconds left here. Looked like Maverick kind of quit wrestling there for the last 5 seconds. Almost cost him.
So you get the 3. I'm gonna continue keeping up with the math. Reminder, it's 29-15. The scoreboard here in the gym, I believe, incorrect.
Yeah, I think they would have switched it by now if that was the case.
So it's 14 now. I don't know if they can.
And maybe they can't. I think maybe that's what coaches are checking over there.
So now you're looking, you need 14 out of 24.
This will be a fun little match too. Got 2 young wrestlers. Brock Swenson from St. Croix Central in the red. Griffin Marco here in the green. And there you go. There you get your score. We're right there. Both very positionally sound wrestlers, and they wrestle hard. Griffin Marco, very good positionally. He's going to stay in position. He's going to look for his underhooks, and I could tell he really enjoyed wrestling from a lefty collar tie and a wrist. He's got great motion. Brock's going to attack for 6 minutes. That's just how Brock is. You know, it doesn't matter if he's winning by 4, winning by 1, losing by 10. He's just going to go.
And I imagine that can be very tiring as an opponent too.
Very tiring as an opponent, but you know, you can wear yourself out too. So he's going to have to, especially against a really good opponent, Griffin Marco, you know, he's going to have to pick his spots. There you kind of see a step, try to whip him over there, try and catch him off balance as Griffin did there. You've seen 2 lefty singles there from Brock. That's kind of his go-to shot. Griffin, he wants to work a little bit from space. He doesn't want to be tied up too much. You can tell he's a little uncomfortable there. He wants to get to his underhook. There's that shot again from Brock, lefty single. He's just going to keep pulling the trigger. Right here, there's a good, there's that knee pull that he hit earlier today. He wants to get to a lefty underhook, and he wants to get to his knee pull on Brock's right leg. Both these guys, they have a game plan. They know what has gotten them this far. They're going to continue to stay committed to that. Good little level change fake from Brock. Nice little leg attack. Oh, good little re-attack run around there from Griffin Marco. He gets the leg up high. Nice little finish there from Griffin Marco. Quick little run behind. Finishes, quick finishes are at a premium. You need to, they're hard to come by against really good opponents, and that was really well done by Griffin.
And as we've mentioned a lot, ending the period on top.
Yep, that's a huge advantage. Griffin chooses down. He's going to change over. Nice little change over, sit out position, and then he's out, in and out.
And I imagine he's the guy that wants to attack from up here neutral.
Yeah, he wants to. His best position is on his feet. You know, he wants to get to that. He's going to club with his right hand. He's going to go underhook with his left. Or he's going to go club left hand and knee pull right. So Brock, he's just going to kind of keep level changing, shooting. I expect him to continue to attack. You kind of saw him fall into Griffin's wheelhouse there with an attack. Don't get the leg. Griffin had a really good re-attack or run around. He's quick to that. So that's kind of what I was talking about. You need to kind of pick your spots if you're Brock. Griffin wants to maybe just down block and run behind. There it is again from Griffin. right? He just missed on it, but he's kind of got Brock timed right now. He gets his hands down and he runs corner. And he's right there, and that's how he scored in the first period there with short time left. Almost scored again there. Brock's got to really maybe put 2 or 3 things together if he wants to get to Griffin's legs, because Griffin's a good opponent. And there he gets that leg. He's got to work hard. He's got to come up. He's got to shelf it, and he's got to come up, shelf it on his outside leg. There, he's doing a good job. He can't get pulled back to the mat. That's where Griffin wants you. He wants to pull you back down to the mat. If I'm Brock, I want to pull his leg up onto my leg. I want to keep coming to my feet, and Griffin's doing a great job of just continuing to pull, right? And that's a position, you know, you hope that it's a high-level position. You see a lot of college guys get there, and so you can tell that Griffin wrestles a lot out of the season. You know, he knew right what to do, right? And Brock just needed to get that leg shelved. And there's that underhook from Griffin. Third period here, 3-0. Brock's going to select the down position.
I imagine that's, I don't want to say no-brainer, but that's probably your best option here. Go down, get the escape, take down.
Yes,
Get the tie.
You got to go down. You got to work hard here, though. You know, you see him get to this quad pod position, and he's not. He's bringing the knee out. I don't know how much they're going to let that go. But if you're Brock, you get to your quad pod position, but you can't stop there. That's just the starting point, and then you got to move from there. If I'm Brock, I got to get back to I'm going to go attack the hand on my ankle, right? Griffin doing a great job of keeping weight forward, right? Every time Brock kind of comes up, you see Griffin kind of drop right back down to that ankle, right? A good adjustment for Brock in this situation. Maybe go attack that hand, right? You know it's coming. Go attack that hand that keeps coming down to the ankle. Not really making that adjustment. That's kind of an adjustment you got to make as a high-level athlete. Mid-match adjustments, right? He just did the same thing 4 times in a row. Brock not really having an answer for it. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it if you're Griffin, right?
I mean, he's so far now. Oh, that's got to be uncomfortable, that the earpiece come around like that.
Yep.
I suppose you want to say it out loud, but there's probably a little strategy if you're in a little bit of trouble, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think Griffin would use it that way, but I have definitely seen it that way, for sure. Yes.
No, I mean, and the advantage he's in, would be a bad move.
For sure, for sure. You see Griffin drop right back down to that ankle or that knee. You know, that's kind of talk about it, but that's just an adjustment that has to be made in match, right? I mean, if you're really, you know, if you're a student of the sport and you know what's going on, all you do is just have to drop down to that. Griffin kind of doing a good job, just holding on, not doing a whole lot. Doing just enough to win.
As we get a little
blood time here.
You know, with 12 seconds left, you're going to get the restart. I mean, imagine step 1 is getting that first step out of that restart.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of time left. 12 seconds. A lot can happen here in 12 seconds, right? So, what's your first move going to be? You know, and we're going to see. You know, I hope you'd like to see the coaches maybe giving them a little bit of a game plan, but hopefully they've also wrestled in these situations where there's 12 seconds left in practice, right? You got to practice it, you know, before you can go and execute it in a match. So you hope that maybe they put themselves in those situations in practice. Still plenty of time left. You know, quick escape and a takedown. A lot can happen.
Yeah, first step is you need the escape.
Yep.
Almost got close
got to
there.
his feet there. First time getting to his feet here in the third or in the match. These two are more than likely going to meet Saturday. at the regional or at sectionals, it'll be a good, that's a good match. 3-0, that's within just within reach if you're Brock. Obviously it sucks to take the loss, but what kind of adjustments are you going to make? That's going to be the difference come Saturday. And Griffin, he's got to do the same thing. He's got to widen the gap a little bit.
So forfeit here at one.
St. Croix Falls decides to forfeit. Brings the team score to
32-21.
32-21. Okay.
So that's
3 weight classes left.
Yeah, so you needed 11 out of the.
Or is it 2? We had 2 or 3 weight classes left.
So we'll be up.
This is 170. Okay, so we just have 175 and 190, and that's it.
So
2
you
weight
need
classes.
11. Basically, you need a pin. At worst case scenario, you need a pin in the tech fall, right?
Two
to
pins.
send it to a tie.
Yeah, you need 2 pins.
2 pins. I mean, it's
Yep.
doable.
Yeah. And you got a senior wrestling a freshman here, I believe. I believe this is Drake, if I remember right. Drake Peterson. And he's wrestling up. He's wrestling up from 165. He's going up, and he's going to wrestle Noah Nussbaum, who's probably a true 175 pounder. So, the advantage is definitely in your favor if you're St. Croix Central. This is probably who you want on the mat if you're St. Croix Central. And it kind of falls back to we talked about bonus points, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you look back and see who executed where and who didn't, and that's kind of what the duel comes down to.
And here, if you're Central, I imagine you work a little bit here, and don't worry so much about the points in match, and get the release, try and get the pin here, because I mean, a decision doesn't do you any good.
No, nope, it does not. Noah with a nice little takedown there to start right now. Now you gotta, a win isn't gonna do you any good if you're St. Croix Central, and so you really gotta go find a way to put points on the board.
Maybe take the first period to try and.
There's no, that's what you're looking. You're looking for those little suckbacks, things that you catch them and get a quick little turn there.
Confusion on who got choice.
Yeah.
But
I believe it would be 5-6. St. Croix Central has won 5 matches. St. Croix Falls has won 6 matches. So these bonus points have really played a big role here. These last couple this duel. And there Noah catches. He needs to look for a half right now. He doesn't. You got to look for a half right there if you're Noah, and that's big opportunity for Noah. You hold someone on their back. That's if I'm St. Croix Central, right, I look back and I say I just didn't capitalize right now on things. Lot of things that I just didn't capitalize on. Shark out of water, or smelling blood.
Yep.
There's just a lot of opportunities that they've missed out on so far, and St. Croix Falls, I think you got to be pretty happy. I think they've pretty much executed on just about everywhere they could. So that's just been the difference so far.
And you look at a St. Croix Falls that was Division III last year, comes up to Division II. You think maybe, obviously they're on the smaller end of Division II, and then they come in against three of the, two larger,
Right. Yeah.
obviously a big co-op program, 3-4 schools,
Right.
Neillsville, Greenwood, Loyal, and then against a St. Croix Central that's towards the top end of Division II,
Right.
size-wise.
Yes. No, and I think that's kind of their mentality is they're all about outworking everybody. If I know Joe Rager pretty well, and I think that's kind of always been their mentality is really fear no one and just outwork everyone.
We see them a lot in football.
Yes.
We cover the Colby Hornets and see a lot of St. Croix Centrals. That's a good move there. And more blood.
More blood.
So, I mean, that's I think it's one of those, I don't want to say forgotten, but kind of, it's off in its own little corner up there that.
Yep. Yeah, no, and maybe that's what gives them the edge, right? They kind of feel like they're always overlooked. They're kind of just up here. No one's paying attention to them. So if that's your edge, that's your edge.
And I imagine, for a wrestler, when you start getting these blood issues and it's constant, you can't really get into the groove of a match. It's got to start getting a little
irritated for sure. Yep. No, it is definitely frustrating as a wrestler. You kind of feel yourself really, figuring things out in a match, and then more blood, and that's your coach's job, is to just keep you calm, relaxed, and just be ready to go.
They get everything cleaned up.
We're going to start neutral here. 45 seconds left here in the second period. Nice little shot there from Drake. He goes off to a double leg. He's driving. That's kind of that, maybe that strength of bumping up a weight class. I think he maybe felt the power a little bit. He was in so deep on that double leg, and he just had a hard time really getting his feet off the mat.
You see him taking some chances here.
Yeah, no, he's really presenting himself there in these positions. And this is the duel right here.
Yeah.
If he can't find a way to get a pin, or at least get a tech to give the next guy a chance, that's the duel.
Yeah. So I imagine here we're going to see him take some shots that maybe he wouldn't in a normal tournament setting. Oh.
And there, Drake looking to come out the back there, and he does.
And
more blood. Keeps coming.
Oh. It seems like once you get that first one,
yeah,
it's just the nature of rolling, rolling around and being so tight with somebody. It just kind of keeps going. But
yeah, once you get a really bad bloody nose, it don't matter how much cotton you stuff up there. That thing is gonna keep going.
So now here in this situation, now you're St. Croix Central, your wrestlers on the bottom. What's your? I mean, and also for the Saints, like, are you just looking to ride this one out at this point, or?
Yeah, if you're St. Croix Falls, this match is one if you do not get pinned or you do not give up a tech. You win, right? It does not matter. He's wrestling up a weight class. Obviously, he wants to win, right? But his goal is don't get pinned, don't get teched, right? And that's a win for your team, right? And that's what today's about is can you come together as a team and make it happen? And so far, they've really wrestled well for each other. And just the opposite here for Noah, you know, a 2-point decision really means, you know, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, or a 3-point decision, 4-point. You know, you gotta find a way to flip him over, put him on his back. Otherwise, you know, you lost.
Even if it means giving up points here,
Even
like
if
letting
he gives
him go.
up, right? This is a shot of a lifetime to wrestle at the team state tournament. So, yes, Noah's got to find a way to maybe, you know, this is the time to kind of dig into your trick bag and see what can happen. And if you're Drake, right, you don't care what happens as long as you don't give up a pin or a tech fall here. And really at this point, the only thing that can happen is probably a pin. So stay disciplined. Don't do anything that's gonna put you in a bad position.
And I mean, if you're here, would you go back up if you can?
If I'm Noah Nussbaum, yes, yep. Yeah, I gotta find a way to take him from his feet to his back, you know, which is probably the hardest thing in wrestling, right? I mean, that is the goal in wrestling, and that's why it's the hardest thing to do to someone else is physically take them to their back and hold them there.
Well, we're getting the full wrap the tape around the head.
Yeah, there's 40 seconds left. He says, just tape my mouth shut, tape my nose shut. I can stay off my back for 40 seconds. Let's just get out of here. I have a feeling on Saturday that thing is going to continue to continue to bleed.
Oh yeah, you're seeing now. I saw it at the conference meet I was at for the Great Northern. Kid had a full face mask as well. I think probably for a bleeding situation like that.
That's probably going to be maybe Saturday's situation. If he can't get that thing to stop bleeding, I think St. Croix Falls fans are loving this, right? Rambo out there. 40 seconds to send your team to this team state tournament.
Oh,
and you can kind of just tell the energy difference between the two schools right now, right? One team's really getting behind, one community's really getting behind their school. Clock never stopped. They want the clock. Clock never really started.
Now it does start. That might have been the full period. Close to it.
He's holding the clock down.
There it is, and
that's match. And that's your duel.
Yep.
That's your duel.
St. Croix Falls will.
They're going to head down to the state tournament as a team and wrestle for a team state title.
I mean, that's and a great job there by, trying to make sure I get the right guy, Drake Peterson, I believe that was.
Yeah, Drake Peterson. Freshman,
staying out of trouble.
Staying out of trouble, right? Do your job. We talked about it all week, all day. Who's going to do their job better?
Now, the question here, do you wrestle out this last one, or do you?
I hope so. This is a wrestling. We came to watch wrestling. We didn't come to sacrifice anything, so I hope so. So
we will get the match at 190. I'm sure some bragging points and some confidence building heading into
Oh, for sure.
team
yeah.
sectional. I imagine both these guys
Yeah.
are probably there.
Oh, yeah. I think the only reason maybe you don't wrestle it is, safety.
Yeah.
There's more on the line now for both guys. Hayden Buckle, you got to be ready to go on Saturday, right? And St. Croix Falls, you got to be ready to go Saturday, and then you want to stay healthy for the team state tournament now.
Oh, that's.
You just sent your team to the state tournament. You want to bring your best squad, and there's a situation. A lot of chaos. That was a good fun 10 seconds right there. Chaos.
You would imagine if you're central here, you're wrestling. You get a few more points, make it look a little more respectable too in the final.
Yeah. No. Now there's really no pressure on either one. They can just go and wrestle. You can tell there was a lot of pressure, anxiety on both teams. You could just kind of sense it, feel it from up here.
As they wrestle this one out, so kind of going through, you got team sectional Saturday, then you've got team state the following weekend, or no, individual state the following weekend, then team state.
Yep.
So there's a whole lot of
still a lot to look forward to. The best time of the year is still ahead of us.
Sectionals. If you get a chance to get over to Tomahawk, that is a fun day. A lot of wrestling.
Yeah, the wrestling just keeps getting better and better.
There's 8, and the nice thing there is it's 8 at every weight class. You know exactly. You're not gonna, unless somebody got hurt or is sick or something, is that big takedown.
Nice. That was a really nice shot by Hayden Buckle. Beautiful shot. Just countered well.
And
that was a beautiful, take nothing away from Hayden Buckle's shot there. That was a great shot, just like I said, very good counter there. And that'll send St. Croix Falls to this team state tournament.
And that's got to be a good, a nice little exclamation point to that one, to get that big first period pin. So
nothing like sending the crowd home happy, right?
Oh, for sure.
That's they wrestled very well tonight.
So we're gonna turn it over downstairs. They're gonna have, I believe they're gonna have a plaque presentation and some other stuff. So stick around.
Awesome.
And we'll be back after that.
Thank you.
St. Croix Central Panthers.
I think we're good. Thank you very much.
Now can I please have the coaches for the section champion, St. Croix Falls Saints, please come collect your medals and your plaque. Your Division II section champions, St. Croix Falls Saints.
joined by Coach Rager. Coach, we'll start with that first match. You guys were able to really get a quick win there against Neillsville Greenwood Loyal. How much do you think that helped you guys coming into this one, that you guys got probably a good extra 20, 30 minutes of rest?
Yeah, I think it helped us with the emotional regulation. Last year we were here and we had a battle to start, and then we didn't really ever have time to calibrate ourselves, so I think it helped a lot.
And then obviously coming into this one, back and forth, but you guys had the lead from the beginning to the end. You got some early pins. How important was it there, those early pins, those first few matches?
Oh, massive. Massive, and we knew it'd come down to bonus.
And then obviously, you get the win there with that, with the loss on the decision. Wrestle 190, get a big pin, kind of the exclamation mark it. What was good, kind of the environment of the team there to get that big pin right at the end?
So that was Mason Utgard, and he's had a tough few weeks. I can't tell you how much that meant to him and the team.
And then the easy question, you're going to be coaching at the team state tournament. How does it feel?
Feels amazing. Very happy.
All right, sounds good. Congrats on the win. Good luck down there, Coach Rager. And we're going to bring in Kelly coming up here in just a moment. Cal and Kelly, we're looking up at the camera there. So we're going to start out, first match. You guys were able to roll through pretty quickly. How nice was it to get that little bit of extra downtime before the championship match?
It was pretty nice. We got the chance. We got to watch a little bit. I know last year we had a close one against Central first round, so we got scouted out by Baldwin pretty good. But this year was the opposite, so it was real nice.
And then obviously started this one. You guys get a couple big pins early, kind of held that lead the whole time. How much confidence did that give you, knowing that you guys had that lead and had the ability to maybe be a little more aggressive?
Oh, it was really nice. Watching Joe Petherbridge go pin that guy after missing most of the season, that really got me jacked up. I felt loose out there, where if it was a little closer, maybe I would have felt a little more nervous, but overall felt pretty good.
And then talk us through your match. Kind of talk through what you felt out there and what you got.
I was looking to pin, but I don't know, I just had to keep scoring points. We got late in the third, and we had to make a decision that we were going to go for the tech, so we had to get some late takedowns and push the pace a little bit.
And then obviously you guys clinch, kind of an odd way to clinch, losing a decision. And then, your guy goes out there at 190 and gets a first period pin. How much energy was there in the bench there when he gets that pin?
Oh, we are about to just explode. I don't really know how to describe it, but just watching Drake's face get all taped up, and then our next guy go out and pin him is just so exciting.
And then the easy question: you're going to be wrestling down at the team state tournament down at the field house. How does that feel?
It's awesome. I wrestled there when I was a sophomore. It's so loud you can't hear anybody talking, but I know it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be great to hang out with the teammates for one last time, and just going to have fun with the ride.
All right, sounds good. Congrats on the win. Go enjoy it with your team. We'll see you on Saturday at the team sectional.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's going to wrap our coverage up here tonight. We are back on the air Friday with basketball, and then we'll have highlights all throughout the day from Tomahawk for the individual wrestling sectional. We'll see a lot of these same guys there, so make sure to check that out on our Twitter feed at @SOnFocus. We will be providing updates throughout the day there, but want to thank everyone for joining us. I'm Steve Ockenick, Sports on Focus. Enjoy the rest of your evening. The St. Croix Falls Saints are headed to state.